Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a lovely morning. It is now currently 5:30 in the morning. I just woke up and I'm having my cup of green tea because I just don't feel like having coffee this morning. I've got a lot to catch up on, don't I? Yes, I do, because while I was not feeling well yesterday and I could not react, a whole lot of things happened. Let's see. What happened was Chantal hit 100K. She did reach her goal, although, as I mentioned before in my last react, she doesn't get the respect that she should be getting for 100K because she didn't earn it. She bought her way there. And she also had some outside help with reaching 100K. And Mr. Snowflake released his documentary on Chantal. And although she swears that she is not going to pay attention to what anybody else says about her, that she's not going to just pay attention to the haters, she paid full attention to the documentary. And directly after the documentary being aired, the docuseries, she got angry and she did another live stream. She had done one right before that, but then after the first episode was released, she went live again. And she called Mr. Snowflake Mr. Cardigan. So clearly she watched it. So yeah, Chantal hit 100K. And let's see, the Takat channel that was helping Chantal, it seems that they're in a bit of trouble because people are reporting the channel for the sub for sub because it's widely known that doing the sub for sub thing is against terms of service. So I guess people are reporting Takat, and that's making Takat very upset, very nervous. My opinion is, if you're not doing anything shady, there's nothing to be nervous about. You're only nervous when you know you're doing something shady. So Takat went to Chantal in her chat and was saying that she was scared, that a lot of haters are reporting her channel. And Chantal's attitude towards Takat was, sorry, not my problem. I guess Takat is going to have to learn the hard way what we already know about Chantal, that she will use you, and then when she's done with you, she doesn't care. So, yeah. Takat, you're learning what the rest of us already know. So there's so much stuff to go over. So many little tidbits I know I'm forgetting right now. I've got my microphone on my lap. I'm trying to improve the sound quality, y'all. Normally my microphone is sitting beside me, but I noticed that the sound wasn't doing so good. So we're doing it this way this morning. Okay. So where are we starting first? There's so much to go over. This might be a longer video, y'all. I hope you're okay with that, but I've got a lot to catch up on, and I don't have all day, all night to do it. So how about we start here? By a video made by PIGGY entitled Foodie Beauty Leaves Takat High and Dry After Reaching Her Goal of 100K subscribers, and she addresses Pete. Well, that's because Pete came online and he confirmed what we already knew, that Chantal is on a tourist visa, and after a certain number of months, she has to hop from one place to another to renew it. She is not a permanent resident. She's on a tourist visa. So I guess she addresses Pete like that. So let me go ahead and share Piggy's video, and I will leave a link for Piggy's video in the description, of course. We'll credit to Piggy. All right. And after this, we'll get into the Twitter stuff because there's so much stuff to go over. So much stuff. All right. So here we go, y'all. Okay, so here's Takat in Chantal's chat for her live stream yesterday, saying, Miriam, please stand by my side. I am being subjected to abuse and reports because of you. Can you please help? My channel will be deleted for standing with you and supporting you. You know what, Takat? That's a lie, ma'am. That's a lie. If anything happens to your channel, it's not because you're standing with Chantal. It has to do with you breaking terms of service. And if Chantal has been receiving your help, that could also mean that her channel will be in trouble as well. But you were offering sub for sub. And you also have a private server where you were offering your services for a fee. So clearly there was some nonsense going on there. So if your channel is in trouble, it's for that reason, not because you like Chantal and you stood with Chantal. It's because you chose to give your help to somebody who is widely known and not a lot of people like, and that put eyes on your channel and what you're doing. But let's keep going.
Takat. I don't know if you're gonna understand me, Takat. I can't say it in Arabic, but um I have a lot of
And yet, when Chantal was on Takat's channel, she was speaking Arabic to her, leaving a little message saying, I need 800 subs. Isn't that funny how she could use Google Translate for that message? But here she is saying, I don't understand Arabic. But where's your husband? Doesn't he understand Arabic? He can't help out with this message? Where is he these days?
haters, and it's unfortunate that they literally have no life and they have to dig and try to destroy like smaller channels and people. But I do support you and I stand by your side. If there's anything I can do for you, I will definitely do it. um I don't see why YouTube would delete a channel like for supporting other people. Just like it's not.
Again, it's not about support. Like, I like this person, and YouTube is going to jump on you and say, the audacity, you would like this person. No, because you're breaking the doggone rules. That's why. That's what will get your channel in trouble or deleted, not for publicly supporting somebody that other people don't like. Yeah, exactly. Sub for sub is against terms of service.
Not doing it for any deceptive purposes. It's just literally supporting other people, like trying to grow your channel and have new views.
And this is Chantal claiming innocence. She's acting like she does not know the terms of service at all. Like, oh, it's perfectly fine if you support another channel this way. And yet she's been on YouTube for 8 years. She knows the terms of service front and back, or if she doesn't, well, that's on her. So she knew what she was doing was shady. And she knew from the jump how many people don't like her. And if people found out about Takat and her channel and what was going on, that eyeballs would be on her and Takat. And she didn't care, because as long as people didn't find out, as long as there was a bit of a shield there, in the meantime, she could still benefit from Takat's channel. If it meant 400 extra subs or 500 extra subs before people found out, she still got benefited. And then if people did find out, Takat's channel would go down and she wouldn't give a doggone.
Viewers and different things like that. So I find that really, really sad. And I really hope that nothing happens to your channel, inshallah. And yeah, I have a lot of crappy, mean-spirited people who follow me, and they try to ruin anything I do, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know what to do about that. So
she's blaming all of this on all of us when we're not breaking the terms of service. Chantal and Takat were. It's our fault, right? It's our fault. Oh, it's all because of my haters. But you knew about those haters before you started this thing with Takat. So it's actually your fault, ma'am. You were eager to get to 100K by any means necessary, whether it was buying subs or going to another channel and getting the sub for sub views. You wanted to reach 100K. That was a goal of yours. But I have a question. Now that you've reached 100K, now what? Don't know if you're going to get your plaque. But even if you got your plaque, what then? It's just a piece of wood on your wall. And again, you're not going to get the respect because you didn't earn 100K. Certainly your views last night did not reflect 100K. You still had 300 people in your chat as you once did. So just a big number on your profile page. It doesn't translate to anything else jumping up in views or money. What's the next goal, Chantal?
Yeah, I know, Messy. People are just disgusting, in my opinion. I don't know. Hold on a second. I want to see if Salah can type in Arabic. Well, Murderino, I have a bit of a messy past, but not probably. I mean, a lot of people who judge me have a worse past, and they want to just keep digging and keep trying to bring me down with that, and it's not going to work. So they try anything, even going after innocent people.
Takat's not that innocent, and neither are you. And I'm just going to put my opinions on the table. I think Chantal had a feverish goal to reach 100K. She was buying subs. That's pretty obvious. But then she decided to take another route and go to another channel. And notice that she did not go to an English speaking channel. She went to an Arabic speaking channel and community in order to do this. I feel that was deliberate. That could be the reason why Chantal has been deleting videos and privating videos and getting rid of views, because she was gearing up to go to this channel and that community in order to get some benefits for herself. I think there might be some advantage taking here. Maybe thinking that if she goes to an Arabic speaking community who may or may not know how to understand or speak English, that because going to Arabic speaking people, they would not be able to see her past videos, her past content, understand what was going on. So she felt kind of safe that by going to the Arabic speaking people and community, that she could hide her past and yet still get the benefit of the sub for sub. I felt that was a sneaky move. She is supposed to be a newly reverted Muslim woman going to the Arabic community for help to reach her goal. There may or may not be people in that community that can speak fluent English. And if they don't, they would not be able to understand her past videos if they happen to be online. So in a way that her past would be hidden from them.
Whatever. So that's fine. I mean, I maybe gained like 6 or 7 at the max. Maybe.
Yeah, I gained maybe 6 or 7 people. You gained over 1,000 subs. Look, I showed it to you guys. 800, 100, 200, 500. That's 1,500 in 1 month. That's insane growth, especially for a channel that hasn't been doing much and is boring. Why you lying, Foodie?
Maybe like 10 subscribers from going into people's chats and introducing myself and like talking to people. I want to try to get more Arabic people in my audience and stuff like that.
And again, this is my opinion. I think that she's doing that as a sort of advantage taking, specifically picking those who speak Arabic, because if they don't understand fluent English, then her past content, wherever it appears on YouTube, they would not understand the things she's saying. Because I did notice that she went to Takat. She did not go to, say, an English-speaking sub for sub channel. I think she purposely picked an Arabic-speaking sub for sub channel as a way to hide what she was doing, and she wouldn't get further exposed.
Not just Arabic, but like people from around the world, and people who generally want to watch my content. But that's the only amount of subs I've gained from that. I didn't gain that much. you know?
Sure, Miriam.
So, oh, hold on. Takat, if you're still here, someone's going to write in Arabic for you.
Okay, so Mo translates, hey Mo, this is a tweet from Mo saying, I think Chantal got Salah to respond to Takat in Arabic. Salah, Chantal, Takat, I have a lot of haters who hate me and Islam, my religion. They make fun of me and my religion all the time. I will support you and stand by your side. So here is Chantal / Salah outright lying to Takat, saying that people that don't like Chantal, that we are Islamophobic. It's all because of that, which is absolutely not true. If we were Islamophobic, our channels would get removed for hate speech. But here is Salah again, or Chantal covering for her, saying it's because we don't like Islam. We don't like Chantal for several reasons, but that's not one of them. I have no problem with anyone who's Muslim or of the Muslim faith, or the Muslim culture. It has nothing to do with Chantal. But that's how Chantal and Salah are trying to frame it. That we're a bunch of haters, and it's all because of not liking Islam, which is absolutely not true. There was a lot of dislike for Chantal way before she became a newly reverted Muslim woman, with all the things that she did. Had nothing to do with Islam or being a Muslim. It was because of who she was and the things that she's done.
I don't know why people have to go after like innocent people or people who, you know, like someone will go there and be like, stay away from Chantal, she's bad news, stay away from Chantal, she'll bring your channel down. Yeah, because of people like you going there and reporting her. Like, what does that have to do with me? Like, I'm not.
Well, that's because you went on her channel and you made use of her services. So that put eyes on her. And there's further evidence out there to point to the fact that she knew exactly who you were. She knew exactly who you were. And I saw her in your chat on one of your recent live streams. She was in your chat. And Takat on her channel, she makes a lot of people mod. She gives out the blue wrenches. You got a blue wrench in her channel. So she knew who you were. Or at least she had some kind of knowledge. And she chose to deal with you anyway. Again, if you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing to fear. You fear when you're guilty.
Responsible for my trolls. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. You know, that's it. That's all. If people want to keep ruminating over somebody I'm not even anymore, so it's completely irrelevant what you say, then that's fine. Like, I have a past. I don't think that I've done anything super horrible, and whatever.
Oh, that's what you think. We've got evidence to back up the fact that you've been extremely horrible.
I have, it's between me and God, not between me and haters. It's completely taking a different direction and than what people thought that it would ever go. You know, people wanted me to stay down. They wanted me to stay high. They wanted me to stay miserable. They wanted.
No. No, I'm not letting you get away with that. You're trying to paint this picture of rebel without a cause. You against the world. We're trying to keep you down. No, you kept yourself down. Nobody has to wish anything bad upon you, Chantal, because you're doing a fine job all by yourself. You are wrecking and damaging yourself better than anybody else ever could. You caused the chaos in your life, nobody else. You're thousands of miles away from most of us. How could we possibly hurt you? All we're doing is letting the public know exactly who you are. Your philosophy is, if I delete a video, it never happened. I never said that. Oh, but you did. And we'll let anybody know exactly what you said. And then it's up to them whether they want to support you or not. But nobody is holding you down. You holding yourself down with all of your bad choices and your bad decisions. And you just keep making them because you want to save face on the internet. You know, pride goeth before fall. Well, you are choking on your pride. You don't have a big enough throat to swallow it and just surrender to the universe and say, I've made a lot of bad choices, which led me here. It's my fault. And I just got to admit that I'm wrong. Swallow that enormous pride of yours. It'll do you a world of good. You can swallow a plate of spaghetti and meatballs, but you can't swallow your pride. It just won't go down. Learn how to do it.
Want to be to stay in an abusive relationship. They want to be just really down. And that's not how it's ever going to be any ever. So
you can go to Canada and start over again without the chemicals. It's your life. You can choose to do that. Has nothing to do with any of us. Your life, your choices. Stop blaming all the negativity on your life on the reaction channels. We got nothing to do with what you decide to do with yourself.
So now they're going after someone else's channel, you know, or people who support me. And it's like, why? You know, it's just so ridiculous. And like I said, it's not from a sub for sub thing to be 100K, because I literally didn't get very many subs from that. If you look at,
oh, you got a lot.
How many subs watch these other channels, it's not thousands, you know. So
oh yeah, it was a lot. Between her buying subs and doing the sub for sub thing, her sub count went up a lot. And it's obvious, you know. Every day her sub count went up by 100 or a few hundred. I mean, obvious is obvious.
So yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to, you know, just try to branch out a little bit, you know, and get people from all over the world would be nice.
And yet, again, notice she specifically targeted the Arabic community. When doing the sub for sub thing, she specifically targeted an Arabic speaking channel. Not an English speaking channel that might find out about her with a quickness. No, she went to the Arabic speaking community. Is that the reason why you deleted all those videos and privated all those videos and all those views, Chantal? You were hiding your corrupted past ahead of time, so when you approach them, they wouldn't find out about it. They wouldn't see you acting badly. You know, you were taking that preemptive strike by setting things up to where if they went to your channel, they wouldn't see anything, so you could possibly get their help. I think so.
But I don't know. Honestly, at first I was like, I thought it was like somebody bought them, because I was like, there's no way, you know? And then,
okay, I've taken a peek at some of the websites that offer the bot subs. I've never partaken of that. You guys know that. You're on my channel. You see my sub count. I'm not buying subs. I'm not breaking TOS. I'd rather grow organically and honestly. That's the way it should be done. But the way that those websites work, if you choose to break TOS and buy subs or engagement or views or likes, you have to give them your channel information. So how would anybody else on YouTube have her information to do that? You have to give your channel name and so forth. Haters are not going to buy Chantal subscribers or likes or engagement or views. We don't care that much. I mean, there's been an uproar on Twitter about her reaching 100K. Nobody wanted her to reach 100K. But she did, through shady means. But why would the haters spend their hard-earned money to help her reach her goal? It doesn't make sense.
no. I'm like, I checked Salah's bank statements. I'm like, did you buy? Like, I was in disbelief, so I don't know. But then I do see a lot of comments from people who are new, and I do see that, you know, the views have gone up a little bit, and then also
not that much. You gained 1,500 new subs according to your numbers. The numbers have not gone up that much, even with the Rage live that you did. You were sitting at 320 something live viewers. 1,500 new subs, and it didn't jump up, even with a Rage. Yeah, okay.
So that like the sub for sub thing, it's not just, it wasn't about sub for me. It was about gaining a new community of support, like new people, you know.
Oh, hold on. I was holding my microphone and I couldn't catch that part. There we go. So look at that. Look at that. This is in Takat's chat. Miss Everyday Miriam with her blue wrench speaking in Arabic, saying, I need 800 subscribers to reach 100K. Actively soliciting this channel to get to her goal. And speaking in Arabic as well.
So for me, it was about gaining a new community of support, like new people, you know. And also doing that, I also love to support smaller channels. I've always done that. I've always been somebody who, if I see you come in here and you have a channel, like I usually go and subscribe to your channel and I comment, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my opinion, if you want to support smaller creators. So I'm trying to support, and other people are trying to bring it down. So
yeah, okay. Interesting how you say that you are willing to support other people. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Interesting how you say you want to support other people, but are you throwing out Takat's channel link in your chats? No. No, you're not. No, you're not. So I guess the support only goes one way, doesn't it?
So that's not on me. That's not my doing. I'm not a bad person like that.
Yes, you are. You suck.
So there's a lot of you guys who have channels that I'm subscribed to, actually, even though I don't always comment, vibe, your energy. I'm not into that I'm not into that anymore. I never really was. That's why I always stuck up for Amberlynn. I never understood such a huge community beating down on one person. I never liked that. No matter how many. Yes, Dime, I am very happy about the 100K, but I'm not going to be like woohoo woohoo, because you know what? I know the evil eyes on me. So
No, it's not that. It's not that she's not going to celebrate because the evil eye is on her. She is her own evil eye. She can't celebrate because she decided to reach 100K before her birthday, and now she's nervous because she's afraid of what's going to happen next. I mean, she opened the door to YouTube absolutely terminating her channel for this. That's why she can't celebrate. This is a hollow victory for Chantal. She did reach her goal, but because she went around the block about it, because she did shady things to get to 100K, she can't fully celebrate. Now she's got to worry about, will YouTube give me a strike? Will they terminate my channel once they see all the bot subs? Because it is extremely obvious. If they go back to the numbers, it's extremely obvious what I did. Like, what's going to happen next? She's nervous about it.
Oh, the Applebee's, that's exactly what I thought. Like, people to buy, I thought that like haters bought the like bots or something, bought subscribers to try to, take down my channel or cause drama or stuff like that. So I, messaged YouTube and I was like, I was concerned about that because it wasn't me. And
yeah, it wasn't you. It's never her. It's somebody else's fault.
They were like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I even have the conversation just in case. They're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're saying don't worry about it because they haven't investigated you yet. You're explaining the situation to them and putting it as, well, like there's all these subs and stuff and I don't know where they came from. And they're giving you the automatic answer of don't worry about it. If you didn't do anything wrong, don't worry about it. But you did do something wrong. And with everybody reporting the Takat channel, they're going to put 2 and 2 together. So yeah, I'd be sweating if I were you.
If that's the case, then they would just delete them if they're not real. I don't know, Zam. I don't know where they came from, but it.
You know what's going to be funny? If YouTube does an audit of her channel and they take away all of the dead accounts, all the dead subs and the bot subs, and she is sitting at her true number, like 20, 30K. That's going to be funny.
Wasn't me. And at least, like, yeah, I've, asked, like, basically supported smaller channels and they support me, blah, blah, blah. But it was only like a few. Hi, Fernando. I guess I'm just not excited because I think that any minute they can be taken away because I don't know where they're coming from. I don't.
Well, but the thing is, if you didn't buy the subs, right? And if they're real supporters, they're going to be left alone. You've reached your goal. You did it through shady means. But if they aren't real supporters, why would that bother you? You know? Why would it bother you? Is a number on a page that important to you? Is it really that important? I don't know why it is, but it is. But if they are fake subs and somebody else bought them, or they're not supposed to be there, why would that bother you?
Don't know, 20 years of therapy to overcome your binge eating. I know a lot of people who overcame binge eating without therapy, though, too. I'm not saying that I don't need any specifically. I don't know, but, other people.
Uh-oh. So one of the subs is tattletaling on Pete's. Brenda's saying, by the way, Pete has been running his mouth again, saying you told him healthcare was too expensive in Kuwait. Thought you want to know. Well, yeah, Pete's did a live stream, and there are clips of it on Twitter. I'm going to show you guys all the Twitter stuff, and there's a lot to go over, where Pete was saying in a recent live stream that healthcare in Kuwait is very expensive, and that's why Chantal cannot go. And he didn't have to say it, though. I mean, I knew it was expensive because she doesn't have health care. She doesn't have a health insurance plan. Her money in Kuwait is worth a lot less than if she were in Canada. The Kuwaiti dinar is much stronger. So anything she gets or she pays for is 3 to 4 times more expensive just because of that. I mean, I showed you guys the currency conversion. One Kuwaiti dinar is worth like 3 or 4 Canadian dollars. So y'all do the math on that. So, I mean, I don't think he's wrong. I think it is expensive. And considering all the health problems that she has and the medication and whatnot, yeah, it's going to cost a pretty penny.
Pizza's been running, saying you told healthcare. Oh, whatever. That's fine, Brenda. Some things are expensive, some things are cheap, even if you're an expat. You know what it cost me for medication and treatment? Several forms of treatment? $3.
That's a lie. That is such a lie.
And like, obviously, Canada, it's like universal, right? It's not like that here. Like, you have some.
Right. So she just told on herself. Canada healthcare is universal. She was getting the benefits of the Canadian healthcare while she was in Canada. But when's the last time she's been in Canada to take advantage of the healthcare? I've heard that her plan lapsed and she would have to renew it again just to use it in Canada. But she's in Kuwait. She's insisting on being in Kuwait.
Some things covered for a good price, some things no. Her B Loves Life, she has millions of subscribers. I remember when her channel was first growing, she admitted to doing sub for subs.
It might not have been breaking terms of service back then, but it is now. That's the point. Exactly. So is that where you got the idea? Somebody else doing the sub for sub thing, and you thought, oh, I think I'll do that. Where can I go to do sub for sub and not get caught? I think I will go to an Arabic channel where they don't know me and they don't know my messy history. And because maybe some of the people on Takat's channel, maybe Takat herself, they're not fluent in English. Like, my past will be hidden, so it's a win-win. It doesn't matter what somebody did back then, Chantal. What matters is now and what the terms of service is now. And you broke the terms of service, as did Takat. So you're both potentially in trouble.
Like, her video might even still be up there. She did this sub for sub thing. And me, it's not about sub for sub. I don't like people subbing just for the sake of it. I think, like, people, I want new people to engage with each other, you know, and support each other and genuinely like the content that they're watching, you know?
Here's the thing, though. You went to a channel with the sub for sub, an Arabic speaking community. You've been in Kuwait for over a year. You do not know how to type in Arabic, nor do you know how to reply verbally in Arabic. So what was the point of going to a channel like that? I mean, you're inviting different forms of an audience, which is fine, but inviting people into your audience that you cannot communicate with them in any way.
And I like to do that. I also like supporting smaller channels.
Okay, so that's the video from Piggy. Thank you for that, Piggy. That was awesome. And now we're going to move on to all the Twitter stuff. Like I said, this is going to be a long one, you guys. It has to be, because I was sick, so we're going to do a catch up. We are going to do a catch up. Okay, so for those of you that are on Twitter, there's my Twitter account. You can find me under Wild Girl Sarah. And we're going to start here with Dank Fupa. So there's Chantal. Delete this channel immediately. And this person said, that's no way to treat your son. And this was in Mr. Snowflake's comments. Oh, Chantal, you crack me up. D. Angry Scott says, hashtag Foodie Beauty during her live. Why would I need to watch a documentary about myself? Foodie 5 seconds after becoming aware the premiere of Mr. Snowflake's doc is starting. I need to get off live. Foodie after the premiere. F you, Mr. Cardigan, for your documentary. But she doesn't pay attention to stuff said about her, right? Oh, yes, she does. Oh, yes, she does. DX says, oh, she is angry. Instantly starts raging at Mr. Snowflake, accusing him of being a glorified hater with better editing skills. Instantly goes for Michael B. Sweaty, Mr. Michael B. Petty. Comes to the farm saying they're racist and hateful. Hidden Truth says, Foodie Beauty, Chantal streamed for 3+ hours without Salah, and she's raging still without Salah. Where is Salah? Shouldn't he be home by now from the hospital recovering? Yeah, he should. Where is Salah these days? Okay, I don't like showing this person's face on my channel, but we got to do it for context. That's all it's for. So, of course, Chantal's mad. So who decides to do a live and talk about her? Nads. It just, I'm going to say something. These two people who allegedly hate each other just won't stop talking about each other. They're this weird love-hate relationship. And let's be real. Chantal misses Nads. She does. I feel this whole thing with Salah started because she could not get to Nader. She wanted Nader. And since she could not have what she wanted, she did a stand-in with Salah. But the heart wants what it wants, doesn't it? I feel like she tried to triangulate Salah and Nader between herself in an effort to get at Nader, and it just didn't work. But by then she was so deep in the hole she couldn't get herself out. Christy says, Foodie Beauty, did you say your sister was jealous of you? It slipped out of your mouth. What is wrong with her?
Me and people would hate to see what my siblings did to each other. I have a scar in my face. Yeah, well, I've never done anything like that to my sister. Never. And I think she was jealous of. You can think all you want.
Oh, she almost said it. Said her sister was jealous of her. Everybody's jealous of her. I'm jealous of her. The whole reaction community, we're jealous of her. Everybody's jealous of Foodie. I would like to know what it is about her that we should be jealous of. I still want that answer because I can't see it. There's a single thing about her life that's enviable, but that's just me. Judge Judy says, Everyday Miriam, there's nothing you people think or say or do that's going to bother me. Also, Everyday Miriam, see screenshot below. So Foodie says, I'm creating a secret Twitter to report all of the bully accounts. Say bye-bye. Chantal, you don't own YouTube and you don't own Twitter. And anybody knows that Twitter is like the Wild West. There's much more leadway to say what you want on Twitter. So you can go right ahead and try to report people. You're not going to get far. Okay? You're just wasting more time. And here's Chantal again. Found her in Snowflake's comments. You know what I'm seeing right off the bat? Can I just point this out to you? Do you see the Beazle to be? Y'all see the icon? That's the same icon, the same profile picture that she used for the Charles Reed account. So it's really obvious that it's her. She's saying the documentary is complete garbage. People saying, hi, Chantal. and this person's saying, Dad, I finally found you. That's great. Mo Translates says, a live stream on Takat's channel that Salah was in, the one that I translated for you guys, seems to be either deleted or set to private. I took this screenshot of the title a few days ago. It was live streamed on February 21st. It's gone. I couldn't find it just now. Like I said, if you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing to hide. You hide when you're guilty of something. So you're feeling rather guilty over there, are you, Takat? I would think so. Okay, this is from Shenanigans. This is Pete's on his live stream talking about Chantal and her border hopping. Let's watch.
Yeah, you're looking over $1,000 every 3 months. You have to travel for a tourist visit. Oh well, that like she's just like hopping to another country, from what I understand. Like when she was here, there was like a one time we hung out. She also stopped in at my mom's and. She explained to my mom that like she pops over to Saudi Arabia. But basically she just pops across the border for a couple days while her visa renews.
See, he's telling us stuff that we already knew. All he's doing is confirming it. We knew what she was doing. It's obvious what she's doing because she's not coming home for any significant amount of time. It's like she's gone for a couple of days and she goes right back. But thanks for the confirmation, Pete. Interesting retro clip courtesy of Droll. Hey, Foodie Beauty, didn't you claim the farms with a hate-filled site in your rage against Mr. Snowflake? Or is that just when you don't need them? Remember this? Age well, thanks. So let's watch the clip from Chantal.
Listen. I know you don't think that garlic bread, just because they're your friend. Nobody knows who this person really is. Where's Kiwi Farms when you really need them?
And that's something that she did with Kiwi Farms and also the reactors. Because I remember more than one occasion when she would get mad at Natter and she would say, hey, reaction channels, go after Natter. And she did the same thing to Kiwi Farms. Because Kiwi Farms is known for doxing people, finding out personal information. So there was one live stream she did where she's like, hey, Kiwi Farms, dox this person for me. So she couldn't make up her mind about the reactors nor Kiwi Farms. When it suited her, she would try to use the reactors and Kiwi Farms as sort of her attack dogs to go after people she didn't like. But then when they were talking about her, suddenly we're hateful people. Okay.
We need a voice analysis. Garlic bread, Beauty Beauty reaction channel, and mukbang fatty.
You know, trying to put the Kiwi Farms to work. Hey, check these people out and go after them for me. Ain't nobody your attacks dogs, Foodie. No one. We're not going to do what you want. We do what we want. Okay, now this is a interesting screenshot. This is from her live stream. In the screenshot of Cutie showing us her backside, I just noticed that it looks like the Quran is on the floor. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's a big no-no for Muslims. And in my opinion, further proof Salah doesn't live there. So I can't see for sure, but it does look like a version of the Quran on the floor. Shame on you, Chantal. Shame on you. Fondue Pondu says, I get blinded with rage about this because DV victims fight for justice. This blank live stream going to cops out of spite, lied about Grape and DV because Naz was done with her, then went out for fast food right afterwards. The Angry Scott says, Foodie Beauty claims that if someone puts their hands on her, she flinches due to unbelievable trauma that Natter caused her. Here's a few clips I could find of Salah manhandling her face. Yeah, there he is touching her face. There's nothing. And she's laughing. No cringing here, no reaction. That's because she's a fake DV victim. Okay, something pretty from Valentina Holloway. What a beautiful library. I'll be honest though, the blue color just I'm not. I think it's too much. It's too loud. Maybe I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I like the natural shades of wood to add more warmth, but it's interesting. Still a beautiful library regardless. Gorgeous. And let's see what else we got here. Florida Salt and Sass says the documentary is in her own words using clips of herself. She just claimed it's making up lies. Ma'am, it's you on your own vlogs and live streams. Yep. And that makes it even better. It's not someone giving their opinion. It's her talking. Herself. How can you refute against that when you're talking and someone just put these clips together for other people to see? You can't argue against that. You just can't. Nana Spiked Tea says, so let me get this straight. Foodie Beauty cheated on Pete, cheated on BB because he wasn't given enough attention. So since Salah doesn't seem to pay her much attention, is it only a matter of time before she cheats on him? Wait, he's the cheater this time. Honestly, Nana, I think it's both of them. I think she's got Natter on her brain and Salah's got every woman in the world on his. Neither one of them are faithful to each other. Like they're both serial cheaters. So, hey, you know, you get what you get with that. DX says, she's so miserable she can't even be smug. I am shaking with joy. She's mad.
I don't know, Brenda.
Yeah, it's her reaction to reaching 100K is weird, isn't it? You would think she would be celebrating and throwing some kind of a party, but she's not. That is so telling. Oh, I reached 100K, but because I knew that I did it the bad way, now I got stuff to worry about. It kind of takes the sweetness out of the wine, doesn't it? Turns it to vinegar. Sure does. Lean Cuisine Enthusiast says, so Chantal left a country with universal health care to go to a country with expensive health care, and now she can't afford treatment. Well played, Chantal. Yep, her over there making the bad decisions. Okay, now this is vile. This is really, really vile. Havasu Mom says, Everyday Miriam, aka Foodie, is going to Mr. Snowflake's kids. Why? Because you hate yourself for everything. Chantal is bringing Mr. Snowflake's kids into it and claiming he blanks them. Shocker. She's always going to go as low as possible and will involve kids anytime she can. So I guess in her live stream, she claims that Mr. Snowflake is hurting his kids. Really? No, he's not. He doesn't hurt his kids. Hold on a second. Let's look at this from Miss T. Somebody says, Everyday Miriam is a very bad person. You should not have helped her. All your live videos have been downloaded with chat. Have everyone unsubscribe from Everyday Miriam before it's too late. Your channel is in danger. I'm only trying to help you. Takat says in reply, it actually happened and support was withdrawn from it. Thank you for the advice. So I guess they're not helping you anymore. Well, I kind of doubt that. Maybe it's happening behind the scenes. Oh. And here's from Halloweenies Ham Fart Badusi. 100K fake subs doesn't get your views on your lives, girl. How sad. And this was how many people were watching Chantal. Less than 300. Ouch. Nellie says, yes, you did. Someone commented on how your sister was beautiful, and your response was that she was disabled. Yeah, Foodie said in comments that her sister had a disability.
Oh gosh, yeah. My sister was mentally. If I ever said anything about that, I talked.
First of all, if you start out a reply that way, you know you done lied. If I ever said anything like that, what you should be saying is, I never said anything like that. But here's Foodie trying to give herself some wiggle room. If I ever said anything like that, oh, those are the words of a liar. What they're about to say next is also a lie.
Talked about her being like premature and stuff.
No. A baby being premature is a baby being premature. You outright said your sister had a disability, which is not true. But even if it were true, Chantal, if your sister did have some sort of disability, you shouldn't have been saying that to the public. It's nobody's business. No one's business. You did it out of jealousy and spite for your sister. You get a long history of hating your own sister and being in competition with your own sister and being mean to your sister. You did it to be mean.
Stuff like that. Not calling her mentally or ill or stuff like that. Never make.
I got comments right here, like coming up, where you said that. Oh, here we go. From CL, is it Heilban? Chantal, here are the 3 screenshots where she directly references her sister's alleged disability, premature birth, antisocial behavior, and whatever else she could vomit up because she was salty that commenters dared state her sister was pretty. Here you go, y'all. We like our receipts. Here's Chantal saying she has a mental disability. She was 2 months premature as well. I should mention that my little sister has a disability, thus the mildly antisocial behavior. I just thought people should know so they don't seem she is super crabby person. Again, even if she does have a disability for real, why would you put that out there in the public eye? Ain't nobody's business. And here's the comment in the live stream from Fondue Pondu. Right there. We got receipts all day, Chantal. We got receipts all day. Not another fupa says, seems that Takat lady isn't too happy and a bit scared. So where is Takat? Ah, there she is. Please stand by my side. I'm being subjected to abuse and reports because of you. Can you please help? My channel be deleted for standing with you and supporting you. And again, Takat, she doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about your community. She got what she wanted, and she's going to throw you away and treat you like garbage. Y'all will wake up eventually over there. You'll get it. You'll get it. This is from Mash saying, there are WhatsApp groups with lists of YouTube account holders that are assigned duties. Some sub only, some views only, some comment after the 10-minute mark of a video. As I said ever since, this rabbit hole is deep. Foodie Beauty is a lying liar. Yep, I'm sure it is a deep rabbit hole. Oh, there's Foodie not being modest. Not being modest. Foodie Beauty, she's scared she's not going to get the plaque. This is from Hidden Truth. She thinks YouTube reaches out to her and she doesn't know how it works. If you earn that plaque, wouldn't you investigate to learn how to get it? She's going to wait, she said. Yeah, again, if you had nothing to worry about, you'd be applying immediately. She's probably thinking, should I apply or shouldn't I? If you're on the shady down low, I wouldn't apply because that's just going to open up the door to them investigating you. Yeah. Let's see. Looking. I told you it was like a long, we're taking the long way. And this is what she did. This is my tweet. This is her, like, this is how she's celebrating 100K, eating a whole bunch of food. A whole bunch. I'm looking for if there's anything else. And she made a new Twitch channel. Oh, I love this house. Look at it. So peaceful. Okay, we've done enough of this. Let's go over here. We're almost in an hour. The catch up took an hour. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it'd go that long. Okay, so let's just get out of here. Let's see, is she eating? No. Okay. So we're gonna do we're gonna react to the Mr. Cardigan live. This is directly after Mr. Snowflake released his documentary. She called it Mr. First she called it Mr. Cardigan. I guess she changed it. Maybe she was afraid of what else he would say about her. Okay, let's get started. Hold on. Just making sure I am where I need to be. Let's do this.
In a minute. He does really good documentaries. Number one, Mr. Cardigan, you say that I'm not a very good YouTuber. What about you? What about you making clout, making a following off of the haters and off of the same two women with eating disorders?
Ma'am, you can't even use that as a defense. Let me tell you why. Because you have an ED and you monetize the crap out of it. So you're going after somebody for talking about yourself and Amber Lynn. Yet you have made a point to get on YouTube and monetize your problem rather than seek treatment. You gave what was wrong with you a job to help make you money and attract a certain subset of people to your channel. In essence, you turn your channel into a fetish channel. try to argue with me about that, you'll lose that argument. You've been on YouTube for what, 7, 8 years? You haven't tried to get true help. So if somebody decides to take the time and put together a docu-series or a documentary talking about you being a train wreck, or Amberlyn Reed being a train wreck, understand that you decided to make yourself a train wreck on YouTube. And you did it for the purpose of profit. You can't argue. You can't. Not with you monetizing your problem. You know, like after you do that, your argument is invalid.
What about that? Hello, Amanda. Welcome, salam. So here's the thing. Mr.
Apologies right up front to everybody. She uses that doggone shisha. I hate it. Ugh. It's like anti-ASMR. It's not soothing. It's irritating. I apologize for any shisha noises in advance. Don't like it. It sucks. But I guess Chantal she has to shove something in her mouth at all times.
Mr. Cardigan has proven himself in this part 1 to be nothing more than a glorified hater with better editing skills. Because let's face it, referencing his credible research is referencing Michael B. Sweaty and Mana, see you next Tuesday on Kiwi Farms, okay? Kiwi Farms is a vile, racist hate forum. All right.
And yet, you tried to employ the Kiwi Farms to go after people you didn't like, as well as the reactors.
Right? So you're going to hear these people doing this with their cars. So, number one, you're not saying anything that hundreds of thousands of people have not already seen or said.
So why does it bother you then? If the stuff is out there, why are you so bothered? If all he's doing is rehashing the past, like some of the reaction channels have done, why does it bother you so much? Why are you mad about this? The only thing that makes sense is you are trying to hide your past away from your newbies and perhaps people on the Takat channel, the Arabic community, because you don't want them to know about who you really are and what you've done. Trying to sweep it under the rug, and yet the dirt just keeps coming back, doesn't it?
You're talking about things that happened literally 20 years ago or 6 years ago, things that I've already addressed. So you're beating the dead horse.
It is relevant, though. It would be less relevant if you had changed into a completely different person. Then you could say, these are things that happened so long ago, and they don't matter now. I'm a different person. I talk differently. I live differently. I am a different person. You can watch those videos and see me now and see that I'm a different person, but you haven't changed, Chantal. Not at all. The person you were then is exactly the person you are now. Nothing has changed. You've not gotten better or healthier. You've not matured in your thinking. You are exactly the same person. That's why that stuff is still relevant. It's to show people just how deep and how bad the evil really goes inside of you.
Oh, to the point of it being pulp at this point. All right. So, but I want to go over a few of those things that make me a vile person. Number one thing that gets to me every time is putting my sister in the dryer. Listen, this Kathy friend of mine suddenly turned against me. Okay.
Of all the things to get disturbed over, she gets disturbed the most over that. The thing with the sister in the dryer. I wasn't there in the room to see it happen, but I believe she actually did that because she was jealous of her sister.
Okay. And she's psychotic. I could show you emails or messages I've had. Hi, everybody. Messages I've had from this woman. She's harassed other people like this. You didn't do your research well enough. You just take her word for it. She is vile. She is a stalker. She is like insane, psychotic. Okay. And I've been her friend for a while.
You know, I just want to throw this in here. Chantal gets the most angry when she can't control the narrative. You know, she's a control freak and she's got her own script, and everybody around her has to follow that script. But if somebody outside the circle starts talking and they're not following the script, if they say something or do something which shows who she really is or talks about her past, that's when she blows up. She blows up when she can't control the narrative. I mean, here's an example. When the whole BBJ thing happened and FFG got BBJ, and then all of the wrongs to BBJ were exposed, she had a complete, total meltdown because the worst of her evils got exposed and there was nothing she could do about it. There was paperwork to show all the things that were wrong with BBJ. She couldn't argue against it. All she could do was rage against it.
You did not see the emails that she sent to me. Are you going to show those emails that she sent to me first, harassing me every single day, saying the most vile things? She hung out at my house when I was with my sister maybe 2 times, like barely ever. So I don't know how she's a credible source of information for my past. I never put my sister in a dryer. Prove it. I never told her she can't sit with us. Prove it. I never, ever treated her badly. So that's one person that you say I treat badly in my life that you can scratch off your list. Compared to a lot of civil rivalries I've seen in my life, mine was pretty good. Maybe she's annoyed me a few times. I was 11. Again, if you want to go back over 20 years, that's your prerogative. I don't know why people are so obsessed. If a documentary needs to be made, it needs to be the level of obsession with my past as a child. You know, I've seen comments, people say
it's a docu-series. So the episode that Mr. Snowflake released to everybody was just one part. And he decided to start at the beginning in her early years. But there's more to follow. So he's laying it out in a sort of storyboard because there's a lot to cover with her being on YouTube for 8 years. This is just the beginning, Chantal.
Saying her dad, this Kathy person said my dad ran. Like as if that it's my fault as a 2-year-old that my dad left. Are you serious? Like, please. So I know the tone already for this stupid, idiotic series.
Actually, Chantal, you messed up. You heard that Mr. Snowflake was going to do a docu-series on you, and without even watching the first episode, without even waiting for it to drop, you freaked out. And you assumed how it was going to go. And you did a little rant on Mr. Snowflake. And he said, well, I guess I'm going to change it all now. So you stuck your foot in your own mouth.
Again, I don't live in my past. If you have something relevant to say.
Wait. Hold the phone. I don't live in my past, says the woman who constantly talks about her past. When she does her story times, she talks about when she was a teen and when she went back to Canada this last time. She was showing us places that she lived and places where she went and talking about things. She's very nostalgic. It's all story times from her past. And it all revolves around food. She does not live in the present. She lives completely in the past.
In the recent year, go for it. I know it's going to be this scandal with Salah. Whatever. We've already worked it out. We have a right to do that. It's our marriage. Hi, Teardrop. It's futile defending, but you know what? That person went on Kiwi Farms as a friend, made up insane lies about me, which there's no proof of. She was vile. She used to have a crush on Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold from the Columbine shootings. All right. She used to worship them. Okay. So before you use her as your credible source of information to dictate my morality growing up, maybe research her first. Hi, everybody who said hi. All right. Because I could.
You know, I'm just going to go by body language here. She's angry and she's upset. And I know that's like you're saying, that's obvious, Rose. She's upset. Let me just tell you what I'm noticing here. Like she got the pinky up. We all know what it means when she's got the pinky up. But as someone that I smoke cigarettes, and I will freely admit that I do smoke cigarettes. I'm not a chain smoker or anything like that, but I do smoke. One thing you can tell about a person when a person is stressed, they will eat or drink or smoke something more frequently. Like when you're relaxed, if you're a smoker or you're a drinker, you're just taking an occasional drink. And there's like a pause in time before you take another drink. Or if you're smoking a cigarette, you're smoking in a very relaxed way. When you're stressed and when you're angry, you'll sit there and, you're constantly smoking. And girl, you are stressed and you are pressed right now.
Can go over the disgusting crap she did. She did some very nasty stuff to her sister. And her sister was a teenager and she was a teenager. So don't even go there. All right, please. I'm not going to go there because she's whatever. But she's literally insane. Like she also lied about me sleeping with everyone's boyfriends. No, she did that. She did that.
This feels like diversion to me. This feels like, don't talk about me. Let's talk about this other person. Like, don't look at me, look at them. Her talking about this other person. Don't look at me, look at them.
I was seeing somebody and behind my back, she did something with somebody else. Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but she was the one she's a liar, basically. Not credible source of information. All right.
Okay, so let's just say she isn't a credible source of information. What about all the video clips that were shown when it was you and the things coming out of your mouth at the time of those clips? Are you going to try to dispute any of that? Anything? No? Like a lot of clips were used of things that you were saying and that you were doing. How can you argue against something like that? When you are saying things and it's coming out of your mouth, you can't.
What else? Oh yeah, the cheese graveyard. Oh yeah, I'm such a bad person for that because I was talking about a true crime, like Stephanie Sue does in all of her videos, and she has millions of subscribers. I don't know, like what? Because I was eating cheese on Halloween, a cheese graveyard, and I wasn't disrespectful. I was talking very calmly. I didn't say, haha, those people are dead. Did I say that? No, I didn't. So how am I being disrespectful? You're listening to a literal hater. Like, it's so stupid. Number two, like, I showed dead bodies they were covered in a sheet. I was showing the Nikes. And I'm sorry, but those people were part of a cult where that was what they wanted to do. So, I mean, something that happened so many years ago. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's too soon to talk about that. Yeah, it was a lot of cheese, but come on, whatever. Like, again, going over things that were so long ago. Like, what the heck? People are allowed to change. People are allowed to be different. Saying that
they are, but you haven't changed. And that is the point. That is the point of doing retro reacts, Chantal. I'm looking at your chat right now. I've been reacting to you for a long time. I don't see a single person in your chat that I recognize from way back then. All the older batch of Beezers that know your history, they're gone. What we have here are a new batch that they don't know your history. And you made sure they didn't know your history. You deleted a lot of stuff off your channel. I think you're getting the most upset because you thought by deleting things off your channel And with you having this narrative of don't watch the reaction channels, don't go to the clip channels, just stay right here. You're trying to, like wrap your arms around your newbiesers and create this environment of we're all a bunch of liars. Don't pay attention to us, because if they pay attention to us, or someone like Mr. Snowflake, they're going to find out exactly how awful you are and you have been. So you try to wrap your arms around your beezers and like create a barrier between themselves and the truth that's out there, because you're afraid that if they find out the truth, they won't be your beezers anymore. Well, some of them might be diehards and hang out with you, but some of them might find out some stuff they never knew before and go, oh my God, I had no idea. You don't like the truth being out there. That's why you're upset. Liars always hate the truth. And they especially hate if the truth gets exposed over and over and over again.
I treat everyone in my life poorly. Like who?
You do.
Pete's? Okay, yes, I did cheat on him. We worked it out. We're still good friends. So if he doesn't have a problem with it anymore, why should like random strangers? You don't know the dynamic of our relationship. You don't know the circumstances of everything. Even going far back as saying I threw a chair out of jealousy. Who cares? How does that how did I do anything different than a lot of people?
So let's go further with the Pete's thing. She didn't just cheat on Pete's once. She cheated on him several times. But she's leaving out other parts too. She took his money while she was with BB. She was accepting money from Pete's. She basically ruined his credit. And I've heard that when she left the villa this last time, because the villa was in Pete's name, you have to know that there were damages to the villa. And because it was in Pete's name, Chantal was off the hook for that. So let's think about the stopped up drains and the ruined carpet. And with her smoking her chemicals in the house, there was a repaint, and that cost money. The ruined kitchen floor. I mean, who's paying for all that? Certainly not Chantal. So he might have been paying for damages to that place that had nothing to do with him. She basically obliterated Pete's world. When they moved in together, he had a job, he was making money. Then she urged him to quit his job to join her on YouTube. Once I don't know if he got laid off or fired, but once he wasn't regularly working anymore and depending on Chantal for making his way, she had complete control of him. And she took advantage of it for a long time. And then she left him high and dry when she went to Kuwait.
Well, yeah, I know, but Lolo, I'm just trying to point out where they're liars. They're complete liars. It's like there's 5,000 people, about 5,000 haters. I get it. They're all the same people that have been hating on me forever, People.
And let's talk about that. Why do people hate you? Why do people hate you, Chantal? You try to frame it as it has everything to do with your size. That's it. It's just your size. What you're not mentioning is you, over the past 7-8 years, you have done everything known to man that you could get away with on YouTube to be offensive and gross and vulgar and tick people off. You've been cruel, you've been vile, you've been abusive to your own members. Why do people hate you? It's not because of the size of your body. Your body is your concern or not. But it's your behavior that people have a problem with. It's the way you treat people. You being a narcissist, that's why.
In the chat, I see are like, oh, you said some vile things to me in Cuba Rage. Yeah, but what about what you said to me? I always defend myself. I don't just go off on people for no reason. If you've come in here.
Oh, yes, you do.
And you've said some really nasty things to me and I've been nasty back. It's not preferable. It's not good, but yeah, I'm human, okay? And I've been pushed to limits sometimes where I've said things I don't really like, you know? They do lie. Saying I saw a lie, and people believe it, and that's why they don't like me, okay? I know me, but like saying
We are reactors. When we react to you, we show your video clips. It isn't just a matter of a bunch of people putting their opinions out there with no context, with no proof. We put your live streams on, your videos on, and then we give our opinions and our feelings with those clips. But we showcase the things coming out of your own mouth. Again, how can you argue against that when the proof is right there, along with the opinions and the feelings?
For example, that I abandoned my grandmother when she was dying. I and my mother, I've said this a million times, we were the only ones there out of the entire family holding her hand to her last breath. So how did I abandon her? Never happened.
Chantal, I will always have a problem with that time period where you never went to go see your dying grandmother, and then you went to the hospice where she was, and you made sure to take a selfie with your grandmother in her hospice bed. She wasn't looking very well, and you posted it on social media, posting a picture that really should be for private use, private viewing. And let's talk about the day of her death for just a moment. What did you do? Your grandmother passed away. You didn't go to your family's house and console your mother who had just lost her mother. No, you went home and you did your chemicals and you talked about doing OnlyHands content on the day of her death. Yeah, remember that too.
Fake lies. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Strive. They only focus on the reaction to what people say about me. Lindbug, welcome to Very Important Bees. Ready, Set Bees. Thank you, Lindbug. Another thing is that we like to treat our audience like crap for
You do.
not supporting us when we fail on diet. No, what we don't like is the fact that, you know, there's been a long journey with this where we didn't really recognize all the time that, you know, that we had eating disorders. For a long time, I just thought I was like,
She's always known. She's always known she has a problem with food, and she's never given an F about it. Never. She feels very free to get on YouTube and talk about her eating issues, but she's never wanted to treat those things because they were making her money. If we're going to get real for a second, and we are, what we have here, folks, in layman's terms, is an addict who wants to get on YouTube and do the source of their addiction in full view of the public and get paid by the public to do it, and YouTube and Google AdSense. This toxic cycle of enabling and getting funded for doing something unhealthy on camera. YouTube is her only source of income, unless she's got feedies on the side, you know, putting money in her pocket. But the internet is her only source of income. But she wants to be an addict, do the source of her addiction on camera, find people that will back it up and enable it, and watch her do it. It's crazy. It's crazy because YouTube, they have policies in place saying you can't glorify this, and yet they're allowing it. They see what she's doing. She's done tons of videos saying she's got an issue with food, and they're not putting their foot down on this nonsense. And what that's leading to is not only her health becoming worse, but there might be people watching Chantal right now that might get triggered who have BED. They might get triggered to relapse in a way, to have a B moment of their own. People that might be fighting for their recovery. And it also sends out a dangerous message to others who might have issues with food. If you got an issue with food, don't go into treatment. Don't seek counseling. Don't seek therapy. Come on YouTube and turn your problem into a job and get paid for it. That's how you should handle it. It's a dangerous, dangerous message. Anybody want to see how that could turn into something? Look at her. Look at Amberlynn Reed. Look at Nikocado Avocado. How they've all changed over the years. They've all had health problems, eating too much food, way too much. They've all been affected. Chantal and Amber, they're both practically housebound because of their health issues, because of their weight. Yet they've got the money to fix it, and they don't. What they want to do is sit on YouTube and get an audience of people that will gather around them and keep this going. It's disgusting.
Overeating. I didn't even really understand what I had as an eating disorder at the beginning of my YouTube. And I failed diets a lot, yeah. But what I would be defensive about is people coming in and fat shaming me and putting me down for not doing well on my diet. So that's what I was addressing. I would address the shaming, you know, of people coming in and saying, you're such a failure, we know it. And then you're going to say I'm a bad person for defending myself against that kind of behavior, abusive behavior towards myself, of me saying, you know, well, too bad if you don't like it, you know, get out of here. Well, it's true, you know, just because I put it out on the internet doesn't mean I have to accept your abuse towards.
Ma'am, let's get one thing straight. You decided to make a channel on a public platform. Did you not? Yes, you did. You made a channel on a public forum. You decided to put all your business out there in front of the public on a platform where anybody can watch what you do. You decided to make videos for the public. The moment you do that, the public has a right to voice their opinions, whether it's in the comment sections, in your live chats, on somebody else's channel, on Twitter. You are inviting public feeling and opinion. You're not posting your content on a private forum where only certain eyes can see. You're doing it on a public forum. You put things in front of the public on purpose to make money off the public. But if you want to make money off the public, you have to allow their feelings and opinions. That's just how it works. You don't want to hear the opinions and the feelings? Turn your comments off. Or don't go to the reaction channels where people are going to air their feelings and opinions. You can't have one without the other. You want the money benefit, you want the monetization benefit, but people aren't allowed to say how they feel about what you do? Stop being a control freak. People are allowed to say what they want.
Towards me over and over again and not ever say anything about it, you know? And it's just so stupid. Like, I don't know. You can be more popular than me. I don't care. But the fact that you do the same documentaries people have done a million times on Amberlynn and I, it just makes you another stupid hater with nothing new to say. So congratulations. So those are all falsehoods. What else? I'm disgusted. Oh, I farted. Sorry. Nobody ever passes wind, I guess, right? Okay. I mean, again, that's something that you're going to like be grossed out over me passing wind 6 years ago, like, or telling a story, the story about the other two people. Let me tell you about that story time. They invited me. I was in Cornwall. They were in Ottawa. They paid a cab for me. And they were really nice to me on the chat and everything. They saw my picture, everything.
Okay, so this comment by Consequence saying there's a transaction made when people subscribe to watch your weight loss journey. They give a sub and you go on the journey. When you're off the journey, they ask questions and criticize unsub. Well, that's because Chantal has been doing the most to get herself in many different algorithms. You guys have seen the tags that she puts on her videos. I've shown them to you. She's made an effort to get into the algorithm that talks about BED in BED recovery, which in my opinion, she should not do, because she's not on a journey to get rid of her BED or put it in recovery, but she wants to attract those people to her channel, knowing that she could trigger them, knowing she's really not on a journey, because 2 days later she does a mukbang. She's made a point to get into the weight loss community, although she's not losing weight, but always looking to expand her audience in whatever means necessary. Branching all the way out, attracting people to her channel that really shouldn't be watching her content, because what she's doing has nothing to do with what they're really looking for. But there is a transaction, Chantal. He's right. Consequence is right. There's a transaction here. When you put it out there that you are labeling your video as something in an effort to get more viewers, to get more subscribers, you're advertising yourself that way. And then people are subscribing to you thinking that you're on that path, that you're doing that thing. And then they find out you're not, and they unsub, or they give their feelings and opinions. You're selling a product to people. You're saying, I have this product, buy it. And then people buy into it, or they get curious and they come to your channel. And then they find out that what you're offering is not what they're looking for. They have a right to give their feelings and opinions about it.
Okay, they saw what I was like. They paid for me $120 to $150 for me to taxi to them. And then to get all the way there, and they treat me like they're snobby towards me. Obviously I'm going to feel a certain way about that. And I was totally normal. I didn't pass wind. I didn't act gross. I acted normal.
Something interesting that she said about this encounter. For those who are not aware of what happened, let me give you a brief summary. So Chantal was supposed to hook up with a couple, have an intimate occasion. And she was intoxicated. She went over there intoxicated. And I guess maybe the couple decided they did not want to have relations with Chantal. But here's what's interesting. She's saying right here that this couple paid $150 or so to get a taxi to bring her there. And then when she got there, they didn't have any kind of running water or paper towels or toilet paper for her to clean herself. That just seems weird to me. That somebody would spend that much money to bring her to their location, but they don't have running water or toilet paper. Weird.
I was actually kind of shy. We were listening to music and everything like that. And then they bought me a bunch of alcohol, like a ton of alcohol, shots, beer, whatever. And then at first it was okay a bit. Then near the end of the night, that's when things started getting, and they had no plumbing. I didn't know that. Their toilet had no plumbing. They had no water. They had no toilet paper. They had no, what am I supposed to do?
So a couple that pays a bunch of money to bring you to their location doesn't have any of these things. It sounds very sus to me.
Am I villainized for not being able to hold in my bodily functions? Please. Yeah, he never passes gas. Yeah, exactly.
Even if the situation really did happen, because more than likely it's Chantal making up a doggone story again. Let's just say it did happen, for real. She's over at a couple's house. She's got to go to the bathroom, and there's no water. There's no toilet paper. You know what you do? What you do is you go to the door with the door shut and knock and say, can anybody help me? I'm here using the bathroom, and there's no toilet paper and water. How do I clean myself? And then maybe they might be able to help you. You don't just sit there and make a mess of their bathroom like that.
I mean, what the heck? I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with these things, these story times from years ago. This is why? What's the big deal? I don't get it.
The irony. So she's free to tell story times from years ago, but yet nobody else is allowed to relate to anything in her past. We're not allowed to bring up things from her past, but she is.
Pass wind, cut the cheese. Seriously. Oh my gosh. And yeah, an article was done about the cheese graveyard, but they didn't take a stance on it. They wanted my opinion. I think you should have sniped this premiere and plan to. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will. Because you know what? I bet part 2 is going to be victim shaming, because I can tell the tone. He's just listening to hate.
Again, Chantal, you got in trouble for this already. You assumed what the docuseries was going to be about before the first episode got released. You showed your entire tale to Mr. Snowflake. And then he did a response video saying, this might just change the tone of everything. So it might have been completely different. But you got angry and you jumped the gun. And then I guess the docuseries got changed. And here you are again, stuffing your foot in your mouth. You're not even waiting to see the entire series. You're just adding more fuel to the fire when really you should stop using that gas can and pour more fuel on.
As his like credible sources of information. Please, it's all crap. Of course, people love drama.
And she loves it too, because she couldn't wait to do this live. Are you kidding me? She just did a live before this one. She had just gotten off live. She purposely went off live to watch the episode. And then she immediately jumped online to capitalize on the drama. Are you kidding me? She loves drama. She knows it'll mean a spike in views. Miss, I don't care about views. I don't care about subs. Buy subs. Does the sub for sub thing. Capitalizing on drama. She could have just glossed past the docuseries. But she wanted to make sure to capitalize on it. So she loves drama too.
She can't change and won't. And like, do you think you're a good person by coming in and telling somebody that they can't change? I've made a lot of changes, and you're not the dictator of morality in my life. I'm sorry to tell you. It's years ago, literally. And like, oh my gosh. Like, the thing with Pete's, like maybe 17 years ago that happened. So I'm not allowed to change and be a better person and make mistakes. Please, like, get a life. So yeah, I'm allowed to address things if I want, you know? No, it's not my own words. It's not my own words. That's the thing. He didn't use my own words. Like,
oh yes, he did. He used your video clips. So yeah, your own words.
Some of the stuff, yeah. But what's the big deal? Like, what's the inference you're taking from me telling a story time that happened 17 years ago? That's not even the same person anymore. And then making up things from this hater former friend who made up all these lies about me. Where's your proof? It's not a credible, using Kiwi Farms as a credible source of information from people who...
I just want to put this in here real quick. So Chantal, not too long ago, she told a little story time of sorts, where she said she had a friend that she would go have sushi with. And this woman, whoever this person might be, she was very good at telling stories. So good that she would keep you engaged. I feel that's where Chantal got her inspiration to do these story times. She also did a video, I don't know if it's still on her channel, it might be gone right now, where she was giving tips and tricks about how to grow your channel. And one of the things she said stuck out to me. That if you do a video or a live, that you embellish, her words, you embellish. That if it's something small, you make it seem like it's something much bigger to gain interest. So put those two things together. She had a friend who told engaging stories, who maybe been a writer, and her knowing that if she embellishes and make it something small into something bigger, people get engaged and they're interested. I feel that's where her story times, the inspiration came from. Also, it's been revealed that some of these story times that Chantal did, it wasn't things that happened to her. It was things that happened to other people. Like the situation with going to the hospital and having a attempt to unalive herself and taking pills. That was actually somebody else's story. She borrowed off of somebody else's story, telling that story for herself to get attention. Also of note, and you guys might find this interesting, she's told this many times, that she worked at a battered women's shelter. The moment she said that, light bulb went off. Her working at a battered women's shelter, or being in a battered women's shelter, just doing something, I'm sure she heard the stories from the ladies, things they've been through. And isn't it something that years later, suddenly she's the victim of DV? Although I call her a fake phony victim because I can tell nothing has happened to her. Because you don't want to talk about the person who did things to you. You don't actively provoke them. You don't want to think of their name. She had no fear hanging out with Natter. So she borrows off of other people's experiences and memories for her content. Absolutely.
Literally hate my guts. You don't think that they have lies to tell? Come on, please. And then the irony is that you're going to sit there and call out my lies in a documentary, which I haven't seen any yet, by the way. I haven't seen any yet. So.
You were in his comments. You got off your live just to watch it. And then as soon as you were done watching it, you did this live. So, Miss, I didn't watch it. If you didn't watch it, why are you mad?
I don't hate on Kiwi Farms because of the women in the beauty parlor. And I'll send you a card. Well, I'm just saying that they can be pretty hateful. The people, at least on my page, and I've seen some other things, okay? And I've seen, especially this Kathy friend, she was horrible. She was harassing me every day. I'm pretty sure I put her emails out there too. Of course, no one's going to show that. No, of course not. Threatening CPS on her? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and that's vile. If you got something against a woman for talking about you, that's one thing. It's just between you and her. But threatening to call CPS and have her children taken away from her, that's just vile. Vile, Chantal. Vile. Threatening to have someone's kids taken away from them just because you got a personal beef with somebody is vile. Punishing the kids for what? You're awful.
I'm pretty sure I apologized for that a long time ago. I never did it. I said I didn't think that she should be in, raising children because of her level of morality. Imagine sitting around being a hateful harasser and your kids are privy to this. Same thing with some of the reaction channels, saying the most disgusting things, fat shaming the same fat women online and raising.
She wasn't online though. She was on Kiwi Farm. She wasn't even on YouTube. Different forum. And you freaked out.
Children. What kind of children are you going to raise? Bullies. Hello. So she just was like so horrible to me. And I was just like pushed to a point where I'm like, and I never called anything. I never called them on her. I never did that. So hi, Vamp Diva. Pam. Where's my words, Tiny Puff, that I wasn't there for my grandmother? Where's my words that I put my sister in the dryer and treated her horribly? Where's my words on that?
So Pivotal says, I'm sorry. Most things said for Mr. Snowflake was from your mouth, right? He included a lot of clips. Unfortunately, you're an elder ALR. Well, her and Amber are both extremely similar. Striking back does nothing. Well, it gets her some extra views for the moment. So right now she's getting a spike in views because she's mad. But once she goes back to her regular scheduled program of nothing but mukbangs, the views will go back down. So she's milking it while she can.
Can you tell me? No, you can't. No, they're not from my mouth. My story times? Yeah, sure. But so what? How does my story times make me a bad person? That I had to use the washroom and there was nothing to clean up with. The things that he's saying make me a horrible person are things that haters went over a million times that are not like the cheese graveyard. That was so long ago. And no, I'm sorry. I don't regret that. I don't regret that at all because I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm telling a story about a dumb cult who did some really dumb things. And to me, I thought it was ridiculous. And I was just pointing out the story. I wasn't saying, oh my gosh, it's so funny they're dead, you know? People do true crime and mukbangs all the time. Like, but because it's me, I get singled out. Don't even deny it. I enjoyed all, exactly. So many people love my story times. It's what made me who I was then on my channel, you know? So how are you going to sit there and now hate on it when you guys all love the entertainment from it? You know what I mean? Yeah, Lady Ravenhill, exactly. Yeah, they said I put my sister in the dryer. Yeah, he spent a few minutes talking about that with no proof at all. I apparently, you know, treated the cult was manipulative. Yeah, well, so like I'm still allowed to talk about it. Doesn't mean like I'm being disrespectful by talking about something that.
Okay, so this is just a side tidbit. Diamond says Stephanie no longer mukbangs with her true crime stories. That's true. I did check out Stephanie Sue's channel. She's not doing mukbangs anymore. She's just doing the true crime stories, and she's an excellent storyteller. Great fact checker, and she sits there and talks and does true crime, and she's doing extremely well doing that kind of content.
Happened so many years ago, and like, I don't know, it's so weird that people were so offended by that. Like, people are so offended by anything I talk about. You know, what were they offended about recently that was such a stretch? Oh yeah, I apparently was laughing at the you know, when I was telling the true crime story I recently did, even though I was just laughing at the name Schneeberger. And again, you're gonna like say, oh, she's disgusting. Like this kind of outrage is what I'm talking about, you know?
Fraudy says, is it true she bought subs and got caught? Yep. Everybody's been showing the proof on Twitter and in the reaction channels. Go check out the clip channels. Going straight to Social Blade. See those big jumping numbers. And caught, absolutely caught, on Takat's channel, sending a message saying, I need 800 subs. I want to reach 100K. Caught.
No, I never bought subs. Prove it. I never did. Not once.
Whenever she says prove it, that's all the proof you need. Somebody who says prove it, they know what they did. They know what they did. They know what they did. But you know what? We don't have to prove it. We don't have to worry about it. Because if she tries to go for that plaque, YouTube will do a review on her. And they're going to see all the fakery going on. How everything looks really sus. So we don't have to prove it. If YouTube finds it, they'll act on it. And that's why she's nervous.
I could show you my bank statements. Unfortunately, her words and actions, no, Tiny Puff, no. It's the lies being told and the twisting and the outrage, because people make money off of that. People make money off of that. I'm a very normal person.
What?
And with a past like everyone else, and I'm a different.
I'm sorry, no. No, you're not normal. The things that you've done are not normal. Lying about having an attempt, like you were going to attempt to unalive yourself, that's not normal. Sticking your sister in a dryer, not normal. No, like there's a lot of things that you've done that I would consider not normal.
Different person now. I don't do those outrageous things that I've done. Everyone's done outrageous things in their past, maybe even worse than some of the story times I've told. And if I was so ashamed of the things I did in my past, I acknowledge them. I own them.
Please stop. Please stop right there. If you aren't ashamed of the things that you've done, why did you delete all those videos? Why did you private all those videos, Chantal? If you're not ashamed, why wouldn't that stuff be on your channel where your subs, past and present, could see it? You've deleted hundreds of videos. You've privated hundreds of videos. A lot of your mukbangs. There's so many dirty deletes out there where you would do live streams and say or do something that would get you in trouble with YouTube. And before you can get in trouble, you got rid of them. But the reaction channels have that stuff all day long, every day. We got receipts for days. But if you're not ashamed, if you've done nothing wrong, where is all that stuff? Where'd it go? Why isn't it there for your present subscribers to see?
Them, I don't hide from them. I've shared them with everybody, Mr. Snowflake cheats on his family with girls on his Discord. I don't need proof someone said it. Exactly. Saying that I put my sister in the dryer is a pretty big accusation with no proof. No proof. Why don't I apologize for my wrongdoings? Like what? I'm pretty sure I have. It doesn't matter. People don't want an apology, Blue Pot. People want to keep villainizing me. It's lucrative for them. That's what they want to do.
It's lucrative for you too. And at this point in time, it wouldn't make a difference if Chantal apologized. Because when you apologize and you feel no sense of remorse or regret, is the apology worth anything? No. An apology is only appropriate when you've done something wrong, you know you've done something wrong, or you've said something wrong, and you regret what you've done. To the point where you want to acknowledge it. For an apology to be real, you have to be honest with yourself and say, I've done something wrong here, and I want to right the wrong, to apologize to that person. If she's not really sorry, then she shouldn't apologize, because it wouldn't mean anything.
So I'm just going to live my life, whatever, keep beating the dead horse with my past. 17, 6 years ago, it doesn't matter. Literally, I've grown. I'm not that person. Yes, I'm still fat and I have problems with food. That doesn't make you a bad person. All right? It doesn't. Being defensive when people come at you doesn't make you a bad person.
Coming on YouTube and monetizing your problem, making a joke of it, making a mockery of it, potentially triggering other people who might try to be in recovery, that does make you a bad person, in my opinion. It does. Messing with other people's recovery makes you a bad person.
How is my past vile, Susan? Like what? And yes, a lot of people do have a worse vile past, including people who react to me. So, exactly. Even if I did, I'm not going to apologize for what? For farting on camera? Like, what the heck? For telling a story that was so long ago? Like, I don't get it. I was just a kid. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sassy says, how can you say you haven't seen it, talking about the docu-series, when you keep referencing the video? She watched it. You know she watched it. She got off live just to watch it.
No, I know, Willow Creek. I'm just bringing it up. Like, that's just so stupid. I find it just so dumb. Anyway. No, Ren, I'm pissed because it's not true. Get it right. Thanks, Pamela.
If you haven't watched something, how do you know it's not true? Right? You would have to watch something in its entirety to point out what's not true. So you did watch it.
Yeah. You could think I bought subs. I don't care. I didn't, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
if you can prove it, fine. You can't. You know why? Because it didn't happen. Just like the dryer incident. It didn't happen.
Well, if you didn't buy your way to 100K, and if you weren't going around the block and around the corner to get to 100K, why aren't you celebrating? Shouldn't you be celebrating? Shouldn't you be happy? Shouldn't that be the title of your live stream? Yay, I'm at 100K. I hit my goal. Where's the happiness in this live stream? There is none, because it's a hollow victory. You know what you did, and you know there might be consequences, and you're afraid of the consequences.
But I've proved myself a lot with things. I've had receipts about my medical records that I've been in outpatient care. I showed a lot of receipts in my life. Do they get ignored?
So she just told on herself. Didn't she just say, I was never aware of my problem with food? Now she's confessing that she knew. She's like, I have medical records from her outpatient program. So she knew all the way back then before YouTube, because she's not been in treatment since being on YouTube. So thank you for telling on yourself that you were aware that you had a problem and you didn't treat it. Thank you for confessing to your lie.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Don't raise your blood pressure. No, I find it laughable that these people just keep beating the dead horse with the same stupid things that I've already addressed. You know, oh, I'm such a bad person over things that are not even true. I never, ever did that. A lot of those things. And like, oh, I don't know. Or who I went to bed with in my past so long ago. Why does that matter? You know, like, I don't know. So, yeah. So you're going to take you're going to believe somebody saying that I laughed, like I did all these bad things, which are all lies. She said all lies. Somebody who idolized Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Gotcha. Hi, Vanessa. Thank you, DJ LOL. Yeah. Yep, I know I've changed. I don't need to prove it to anybody. That's fine. Me and people would hate to see what my siblings did to each other. I have a scar in my face. Yeah, well, you know, I've never done anything like that to my sister. Never. And I think she was jealous of. You can think all you want. It doesn't make it true. You know, like people just assume, like I said, maybe like it was a bit hard to go from a single child to having, but my mother never ignored me, even though I had a sister, you know? So yeah, they live in the past to make money. Exactly. So how credible and how genuine are these documentaries going to be? They're crap. They're not documentaries. They're just, I mean, if I'm such a bad person and my content's crap, but you make multi-series for hours on end about me? Okay.
Well, it's impossible. In defense of Mr. Snowflake, it's impossible to crunch everything into like an hour or 2 hours for one episode. Someone who's been on YouTube for 7-8 years. I mean, there's a lot to cover with Chantal. There's so many things she's done, so many things she's said. It would be impossible to put everything into one video. It's better to break it up.
Got it. I don't believe you. I didn't put her in a dryer, period. Yeah, Mr. Snowflake puts his kids in the dryer. You put your one of your.
I'm sensing a pattern here with what she just said. So let's go back a little bit. So this person on Kiwi Farms, this former friend, spoke against Chantal. Chantal's response to that was to threaten to have this person's children taken away from her, to call CPS. Here we have Mr. Snowflake, who is a father with children. Now she's trying to insinuate that Mr. Snowflake hurts his kids. Chantal's always had a special hate in her heart for anyone who's a parent. And she won't hesitate to go low and bring the children into it, or make them a topic of conversation, or threaten somebody's parenthood with taking their children away from them, or insinuating that that parent hurts their kids. She always goes there. You guys noticing that?
Your relatives in the dryer. Somebody told me that. It was Jimmy.
And how would you know about what Mr. Snowflake does with his kids? You don't know anything about him. You're just saying that to be a jerk.
So, yeah. And like, that's the thing. People believe these dumb things, you know? No, I like the primary colors. Sheep, exactly. Let's chill out and fart together. I mean, so what? Like, yes, at one point when I started YouTube, you know, like I was talking a lot about and saying that BB never looked comfortable on camera because he didn't want to be on camera.
and yet you put him on camera. Here was somebody in your personal life that has said, I don't want to be on camera, and yet you kept putting him on camera. You didn't care about his feelings. You didn't care about what he wanted. It was about what you wanted because you were desperate to show, I've got a man in my life. Look, here's my man. For someone who wants love so badly in your life, Chantal, you don't care about other people's personal boundaries, about what they want, about what they desire. How can you sit there and say, I want love in my life, when you are not respectful of love, when you're not respectful of your partners? If they say to you, I don't want to be on camera, end of conversation. That's it. You respect your partner. If they say they don't want to do something or be shown on camera, you should respect them and say, okay, I'm not going to show you. That's what a loving person does. They respect their partners and their wishes, but you have no respect for anybody that's around you. You'll put them on camera without their consent. You did it to BB.
Ever. People are always like, oh, he didn't love you. He didn't love you. We were together 7 years and I broke up with him. I broke up with him.
Lies. Lies. He broke it off with her. He broke it off with her. She did a live stream where she was crying. Clearly, he broke things off with her. If Chantal had her way, she'd still be with BB, making him miserable. She wanted to stay with BB just because BB was a good man. He was a hard-working man who paid bills. She wanted to just live there and live off of BB. And BB wasn't having it. Not with a cheater like her. He tossed her out the door. And so she ran to Pete's, because at that time, Pete's had a good job. He was making money. He had good credit. She had a bankruptcy on her record, which would mean it would be difficult for her to find a place on her own. So she latched on to Pete's. And Pete's, at the time, he wanted to find a place that was within his working budget. Chantal wasn't having it. She wanted a nicer place. So they struck a deal that she would pay the bills and pay the rent as long as he put his name on the lease. And so we did. That's how she came to live with Pete. Not necessarily because she wanted to live with him, but because without him and his good credit, she couldn't get the place she wanted.
So how did he escape? He would have never left, never. But we grew apart. There was no I fell out of love. That's plain and simple how it was.
No. It wasn't a matter of two people falling out of love. You cheated on that man. You cheated. That's what broke everything apart. That and all of your nasty habits. You living with him, and you were hiding pizza boxes in the closet, and there was a roach infestation. Between that and your personality and the fact that you were a cheater, I'm sure he had enough.
And do I regret cheating? Yeah. And I've said that a million times. I live with guilt from that all the time. You know? No, I'm not raging, but thanks for the $5. So,
the only thing she regrets about cheating is the consequences that come from cheating. The consequences of, if you're with somebody and you cheat on them, the consequence may be that they break up with you and toss you out. She was with Pete. She cheated on Pete. Then she went to BB, cheated on him. So apparently she did not learn her lesson at all. She's a serial cheater.
He didn't like to be on camera, but I would just he would say, okay, he would do it for me, but he didn't really like it. He was not comfortable. He didn't like it.
And yet you kept doing it to him.
He only mostly showed the back of his head, and
I do remember the videos that I've seen of BB. Chantal acted all loving of Pete in the beginning. But then she got to a point where, just like with Salah, just like with Pete, there's a pattern here. After a while, if BB would walk in the room or he'd be in the other room playing his video game, she would roll her eyes. She would get so annoyed with him being around Like, how dare you play your video games? I know you worked all day and you pay the bills and the rent here, but treating the whole place like it's her house. Like, how dare you come into her space when she's eating her food and disturb her? She could have done her YouTube videos and stuff while BB was gone at work all day and respected his time coming home, and he just wants to relax. But she would do her videos anytime. So if he came home after a hard day's work, she would be annoyed with it.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Showing a clip of me saying like his TV is too loud. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to work and earn money for us.
No, you weren't, liar. He paid for everything. What you were doing was you were trying to make your YouTube channel take off. You were focused entirely on that when you should have been getting out of the house and getting a regular job and getting some money in the house. That money was not for the two of you. It was for you. And I'm sorry. If somebody is living in a house, they're going out, they're working, they're making a paycheck, they're paying for everything. If they want to come home, take their shoes off and play video games, that is their right. They earned that right to relax the way they want to in their own place.
And he doesn't even have the decency to turn the volume down on his game or his video he's been watching for.
You know what? If it bothered you that much, you should have gone in the other room and done your video there. How about that? Miss Entitled. If the man's coming home from a hard day of work and you're doing a video, what you do is you push pause on your recording, you go in the bedroom and you do it there. How dare you with this entitled attitude?
For hours. So I have a right to be annoyed. Like, I'm trying to earn money on my video. Like, that would be like me going to his workplace and blaring TV so he can't concentrate, you know, like. So stupid. Yeah, I have the right to defend myself. Exactly. I know it's not worth it, but yeah. So yeah, I know. Please stand by. I was just very open, like very, very open about everything, you know? Imagine the time and effort Mr. Snowflake spent on his bullying and applied it to someone more productive. Like, seriously, he's like, oh, he's trying to be fair. He's sitting in a gray background trying to be a soft white underbelly. Like, get a life. You're listening to him.
Just an interesting fact about BB. The Kiwi farmers, they've been covering Chantal for years. And they've talked about many different people that have been around Chantal. BB was such a good guy that the Kiwi farmers said nothing bad about him. They wished him well. That's a rarity for the Kiwi farmers to say something like that or act that way. But they wished BB well because they know that BB did not do anything wrong.
Haters as your source of information, please. And you got a lot wrong, by the way. Hi, Fiona. I don't get it. Like, it's so stupid. No matter how much you try to, no, I don't want him here defending me at all. Thank you. I don't get all the effort and time spent on something that's just like.
And you know what, Chantal? I just had a thought. And I'd like to share the thought with all of you. So with her doing this rage stream and getting some extra views by raging about Mr. Snowflake, I mean, it's just a common fact here. You can't talk about something or someone on YouTube without indirectly promoting them. All she's doing is adding more attention to the Mr. Snowflake documentary. So while she thinks that she's wrapping her arms around her beezers and saying, don't look over here, look over there, she's just adding more interest to this documentary. People are going to get naturally curious. And they're going to say, why is she so angry? And they might go over and watch the docuseries just because she's just that mad. The smarter move would have been to not talk about it at all and bring attention to it. But she's not that smart. She thinks she's the smartest person in the room, and she's not. She's bringing more attention to this documentary, which opens up the door to the new Beezers who have no idea about her past finding out about it. So good job, Chantal.
Like what? Like, I don't get it. Like, stuff that's happened so long ago. He does, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. Mr. Cardigan was so serious yet. Where is Kaya's documentary about her as a child trafficker enabler? She has no personality, so no one's going to bother doing a documentary on her. But yes, they forgive someone who literally is in bed with a child, somebody with a legit sex offender, no matter how you spin it. You know, that's the past. Yeah, but you're still with this person. If some things are unforgivable, like with her own words, and people always say, Karate Joe, you supported Karate Joe, until I found out what he was like, and then he did not make another appearance in my chat. Prove it.
He did, just under a different name. So there's that.
Never, not once. It was blocked that day. So no, I don't. The difference is this person is still in bed with this person. That's the difference. Yeah. Anyway, so much hypocrisy, so many lies. It's all BS. You can enjoy whatever you want. You guys can still try to beat up on somebody who doesn't even exist anymore if that's what you want to do with your entertainment. Salivating over. Imagine your only goal in life right now, your entertainment, you get popcorn for, you sit down in your PJs, is to see someone rage. Like, what kind of life are you living? Like, don't come for me, because that's not what I'm.
And what is your entertainment, Chantal? Turning on a camera and indulging in something you shouldn't be indulging in. You've said many times that the reason why you do mukbangs is because it's easy content. You sit down and eat a meal and make money off of it. So I guess that's your entertainment. Even though it's harmful entertainment, you're hurting yourself.
Into at all. And that right there makes me a better person than all of those 5,000 people.
Okay, sure. You know, Chantal, I'm going to go by the numbers since numbers are very important to you. Isn't it interesting, madam, that 5,000 people were watching the video, the live premiere of the video, once it came out for being members only? 5,000 people. When is the last time you've had 5,000 people in your live chat? Isn't it something that when you do a live, there's less than 300 people now, when there used to be over 1,000 watching you at any given time, no matter when you streamed? So a lot of people were interested in the episode, but not so many people are interested in your lives unless you rage. Isn't it sad that the only interesting thing about your live streams anymore is when you get mad? That's the only thing of interest you have to offer to people. And even now, the rages are not what they used to be. You're a YouTube content creator. You can make anything interesting if you wish. It's just that you don't want to. You run out of ideas, I guess. But you've run out of interest, and people are not that interested. And people are interested in who you were then and who you still are. Can't change that.
Who just, again, beat the dead horse over and over and over. I saw a reaction channel who's supposedly Muslim in there. Nice Muslim you are, gossiping and backbiting on an.
Ma'am, don't you judge anybody about how they handle their faith, not with the way you're handling yours. Okay? You over here get mad. The picture that I showed of you with the Quran on the floor, just stop. Over here smoking on camera, quit. Just quit. Stop while you're ahead.
Another Muslim. Gotcha. So don't ever come for my morality, ever. I rejected free cheese, yeah. No, it's not all in my words, oh hell no. My story times, sure. But he did a lot of talking crap and using reference people who made up lies about me. Like Kathy, like Michael B. Sweaty. Please, are you gonna really? Oh yeah, and boozing, blackfacing. That's okay though. That was swept right under the rug. Shannon, modded once again by FFG, swept right under the rug. Everything is swept under the rug unless it's me. And a lot of Islamophobic people in your chat. I'm so jealous of your chat, Mr. Cardigan. Mary Ham, Islamophobic people, disgusting people in there. No thanks. You can stay over there. I would not trade my audience, 500 people. If I'm not on camera, sometimes less. I wouldn't trade. I would rather have 50 than 5,000. Disgusting.
She says she doesn't care about views or subs. Okay, so why were you buying subs? Why'd you go to a sub for sub channel if you don't care about your subs or the views, Chantal? Why have you been actively seeking out other communities to increase your audience if you don't care? Why are you putting tags on your videos to get yourself into different algorithms if you don't care? Why are you doing these things?
People. So yeah, that's not my words at all. Michael B. Sweaty, you're going to take the moral high ground. When you start, you were a hate channel. You were a proud hater. You've made fat shamed Amber Lynn for years, saying her hands are disgusting and bloated. You said some vile things about her. What did she do to you? Fail on her diet? Get a life. No one's going to take moral lessons from you. So whatever. Thanks for the super chat. We were supporting each other, so whatever. The Muslim Raptor is a train wreck. She literally sat for 4 hours on live trying to figure out if you had photoshopped your photo. Yeah, this is a Muslim, devout Muslim person talking about my morality and my being Muslim and all these other things. Please. Hi, Tracy, Monkey Mar. I've seen people in the chat say, I'm Muslim and I find Mary Ham offensive. You're not going to see people like that in my chat. That's for sure.
Yeah, because you want a hug box. So you're trying to judge who can give opinions, who can air their feelings. You do the content that you do, but no one, whether they're a Muslim or not, is not allowed to air their opinions anywhere.
The whole world can hate you as long as you strive to make God proud. None of the rest of us matters, whether approve or not. Keep striving. 100K subs. Thank you. Thank you. And I can put on my community post where I messaged YouTube because I was concerned about my channel growing. And they were like, oh, don't worry.
That was a preemptive strike. That's the actions of somebody who knows they're guilty, trying to claim innocence, like, I don't know where these subs came from. That's what that was. That's exactly what that was. You did wrong, and you were trying to act like you didn't do wrong. Stop. You did wrong.
About it, it's not possible for someone for someone to buy you subs. It's probably just, if it's bots or something, YouTube will just clear them out. I checked Salah's bank statements because I was like, did you buy me subs? No. He showed me. No. So
of course he's not going to buy you subs because he's not making money. You are. So the money will come from you, you big idiot. He doesn't work a regular job to pay for your subs. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, say a prayer for trolls to find happiness in their life. Yeah, Katie. And he passed away too since that. Thanks, Lynn. I'm glad to hear that. I wanted to try Wisconsin. All I knew, he was obsessed. He was really loyal. He was obsessed with Oreos and Big Mac sauce. So I don't know what else, Laura, people only have these standards. I know, strive for change, and they're only revealing themselves to be just more disgusting because the things that they condone, racism, Islamophobia, so much is just disgusting. Like, just because
listen, if the reaction channels or any channel were guilty of Islamophobia, that channel will be taken away because that's not allowed. That's hate speech. So if the reaction channels are still around, Apparently, there's no Islamophobia. That's just, she's trying to use that as a defense.
They have mutual hate for me, you know.
Well, having dislike for you does not translate to Islamophobia. It is possible to not like someone and be completely okay with a faith or a belief, Chantal. You can't tie the two together.
Film director cousin said Snowflake's video was really bad quality. No, it's like he's trying to be like soft white underbelly or something with his stupid cardigan sweater.
What's wrong with the cardigan? I prefer his cardigan over that hoodie that you're wearing, which looks awful, by the way. You criticizing other people's choices of wardrobe when you don't know how to dress to flatter yourself.
He was never back in my chat, ever back in my chat. So yeah. How no, I wasn't racist. Oh, please. How?
Yeah, she was.
How was I racist? My gosh. You're going to say I was manipulative? He's the king of manipulators. The king of manipulators. Any narcissist abuser is, okay?
Boom. She's a narcissist. She just said any narcissist, they are abusive. And she is. You're talking about yourself right there.
Okay? And I fell in the trap, sure, whatever. But looking back now, oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Gizmo. Applebee's. Yeah, I'm in Kuwait. Only God is the ultimate judge. Exactly. Exactly. So that, I would say, is BS 100%. Blacks, I have no idea. You know, oh, well, you should have kept the charges on him or it didn't happen. Okay, go look up statistically how many abused women drop charges.
Y'all know how I feel about this. Y'all know how I feel. I don't think anything happened. She even said in video clips, she exaggerated the claims. I didn't lie for revenge, but you lied. You didn't go to the cops for justice. You did it because you were angry and because Nader was going to go to the cops and you want to beat him to it. That's what happened. Full stop. That's what happened. You're a liar. Nothing happened to you. You want to paint yourself a victim in all things, Chantal, because by being a victim, you're not responsible for anything, when the truth is you are responsible for everything. You are responsible for what happens after you tell a lie, for manipulating somebody, for controlling somebody. You have always tried to run away from the consequences of your actions. Well, it feels like they're starting to catch up to you. And yet you still try to run. And yet you haven't learned. Clearly you haven't learned that wrong doesn't pay, because you continue to do wrong. And get on YouTube and try to buy your way to 100K. That does not point to somebody who has changed at all.
Go look. When you have feelings for someone at the time and they make you feel bad, did you hear anything he would say to me? Anything he said to me? No, you didn't. You never heard him trying to, you know, get in my good graces or like try to say, oh, I love you, blah, 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 to try to, you know what I mean? He was very manipulative, and going from having somebody like BB to that, what the heck? I had no experiences with people like this.
Yeah, she had, BB was a very laid back, chill guy. Pete was a laid back, chill guy. She had never dealt with somebody who was a lot like her, who could tell her no. With BB and with Pete, you know, they're laid back people. But with Natter, different personality. And that intrigued her. That fascinated her. She became determined to control him and own him. She did everything in the world to make that happen, and it still didn't happen. And for someone that hurt you, Chantal, why is it you're having no reaction to saying his name? He did so many awful things to you, yet there's no visceral reaction here. You don't feel a certain kind of way thinking of his name. You're able to say it quite easily. Liar.
Like, please. And at the time, of course, I didn't want to believe what May said. You know, all I knew was there was this woman who wanted to come down and see him, fly down to see him, spend all that money for what? His cooking? So I thought she had a crush on him. So many women were reaching out to him. And he said it was consensual. What did I know? You know what I mean? How do I know? I wasn't there. Like, I went home. I don't even remember everything. Like, it's so dumb to try to blame me saying, oh, and people are saying that I brought him women. Who? Who did I bring? Who did I for? I didn't even know he had all these women. I didn't even know he was cheating on me. I was in denial for.
But you did bring him women. You did. So you're seeing this guy that's supposed to be abusive, got a temper, black-eyed rage, all that nonsense. And what do you choose to do? You choose to make him a YouTube channel and film videos for him and make his thumbnails and introduce him to YouTube, putting him in front of an audience of women, knowing what kind of person he is. You chose to do that. So in a way, you were bringing him women. You were introducing him to women. And then he went on to scam women because of you. Had you not brought him on YouTube, that wouldn't have happened. Had you not brought him on YouTube, he might still be in your company. It was because you brought him on YouTube that Dee Dee came to know about him and get in touch with him and be with him. So you did introduce him to women, Chantal. All because you wanted to control him and put him in your stratosphere to where he couldn't escape. And then it backfired on you in the worst possible way.
So long. He lied to me about even being with Dee Dee the whole time. And then when I heard the Sam's Bar Lounge videos, I was like, okay, it's confirmed. I'm going to bat for you. I went to hell.
How many times were you saying that you were hoping that Dee Dee got hurt by Natter? You even showed a Sam's Bar Lounge video on your channel. Imagine that. Somebody who's a victim of DV showing that on your channel, triggering people, being all gloaty about it. You did. You did. A real victim would never. So there you go, Chantal, from me to you.
Hell for this guy. And he was lying to me the whole time. And I was putting up with his abuse and everything. Goodbye. I'm whatever. Never. Slim, that's the dumbest question ever. People thinking I miss that loser. I'm like, do I ever talk about him? Do I ever?
You're talking about him now.
You know, never. I never even think about him.
Yet, strangely enough, he's gotten some groceries. And there was one grocery haul where he had edibles, the things that she loved. So yeah, I believe they're still talking. I believe, my opinion, that Natter's always been in the background. He's never been completely out. Never. He's been in the background waiting for Salah to screw up. And Salah did screw up, which opens up the door because Chantal doesn't have any friends. And she's in Kuwait and she's lonely and she needs someone to talk to. So who's she going to talk to? Natter. On the phone crying to him, oh, he did this and he's not here, blah, blah, blah. Now, some people have asked the question, if that were true, why hasn't Natter exposed everything? Here is my counterpoint. If Natter is getting groceries from Chantal or some kind of financial benefit, of course, he's going to keep his mouth shut. He's not stupid. I mean, he is, but he isn't. But if Chantal is sending him money or buying his groceries or whatever else, and he's getting some kind of benefit, he's going to wisely keep his mouth shut. That's why. That's why he's not come forward and exposed her, because if he exposes her, the benefits get cut off. So he's going to keep his mouth shut as long as he's getting something from Chantal.
Ever. Unless it's brought up by people like reaction channels who want to bring up that traumatic part of my life, you know?
You mean that part that you lied about?
I felt bad for Dee Dee, and a part of me does.
No, you wished bad things upon Dee Dee. You even said so. I hope that he hurts her. You said that.
Honestly, because I know what he's like. But at this point, she doesn't even feel bad for herself. Like, she's just like, I think she's just like him, like in a lot of ways. I don't know. She's a strange one, I'll tell you. But I mean, you can go to bat for him all you want, Dee Dee. He's not going to change, and he's not worth it. You have your mother there. He's a disgusting human being. You have to support him. I know, because I had to. You're going to be miserable, and you're going to regret it one day.
Let me tell you something. If Natter moved away from Dee Dee, if he were on his own, away from Dee Dee, the whole thing was just done, which I don't think it ever will be, because as long as Natter stays with Dee Dee, he's got a place to live, rent-free. As long as Dee Dee's mom's there, I've heard that Dee Dee's mom has money, he's going to stay put, because, you know, he's got the benefits of a house and money. But if Natter were ever by himself and Dee Dee were not in the picture, you best believe this will be on the next plane back to Canada and being with Natter. Just because of the fact that the heart wants what it wants. She wanted to be with Natter, and she could not be with Natter because he was with Dee Dee. But if Dee Dee were out of the picture, she would go back home in a heartbeat. Because that's the one she really, really wants to be with. That's the one she's always wanted to be with. Salah was just a stand-in. Salah was what she settled for because she couldn't be with Natter. The whole thing with Salah is over. The fairy tale romance she tried to sell to us, she can't sell to us anymore. And she's miserable over there. So she had the chance to go back to Canada and talk to Natter and be with Natter. She would do it, if for any other reason, because when she was talking to Natter, that whole drama between them, they both had much financial benefit. She earned the most money going back and forth with Natter. Her and Salah, not so much.
I know it. Her mother lived in a one-bedroom condo. Yeah. Now, in retrospect, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, but the story is a lot more plausible about May, because when I reread over and over those messages, I was like, wait, you know, and then just the way he would lie about, like, how he just told so many lies. And my mistake was believing him. Yep. Hi, Allison. At the time, when I had feelings for that gremlin, I was like disillusioned. I didn't care.
I don't think narcissists do not like to be outplayed. I think she's been scamming and hurting and manipulating people her whole life. And for once in her life, the player, the scammer, the con artist known as Chantal got outplayed. And her pride has never been able to get over it. Ever. She just can't get over it. She got outplayed. Still going on to it about this day.
Care about anything. I didn't care about myself. I just wanted to be with him. And now that I have that veil taken off, I'm dealing with a lot of trauma, and I know you hate.
Oh, shut up. Whatever. You've never gone through trauma ever in your life, Chantal. Never. I can look into your eyes and tell you ain't been through nothing except for stuff that you decided to put yourself through. You were with Natter at any time you could have cut it off. Any time. Had your own place, had your own money. Okay? You weren't living with him. You weren't stuck with him. People warned you in the beginning that he was on different single sites talking to other women. We warned you. You didn't want to listen. Kept going back over there. You go over there, whatever would happen, come home, you talk about it, and yet you would not stop going over there. You're even sneaking off to see Natter. Imagine that. Someone who's a victim of DV sneaking off to a motel to meet up with the person in a room alone with that person. No problem. Hanging out with them. I can't relate. Don't understand that. You're determined to be with him. Determined. Thousands of people concerned about you, warning you, didn't want to hear it. What you went through was not trauma. It was just bad experiences that you brought upon yourself. There is a difference, ma'am. A big difference.
Hate me, and I know you don't believe me, but I am. I deal with a lot of trauma about what happened.
Shut up.
So,
Like,
walaikum salam, Rebecca. If someone goes to lovingly put their hand on my face, I flinch.
no, you didn't. And I just showed it on Twitter. Where Salah would be grabbing and pinching your cheek and touching your face, and you were giggling. You were loving it. Shut up.
Like, you know.
We've seen the live streams with you and Salah. You did not flinch once. There was no visceral, automatic reflex reaction there. Stop. Stop lying. Just stop. You've never been a victim. Never.
No. And even Dee Dee, I feel bad for her. Even Dee Dee.
Yeah, Applebee's is bringing up an interesting moment that did happen. Something that I forgot about. Applebee says, we saw him slap you in the hotel stream. So for those who weren't around for that stream, let me explain what happened. So she's in the motel room with Natter, laying in bed next to him with no problem. And he, I guess, lightly slapped the back of her head or something. And she said, hey. But she didn't get upset. She didn't get up right then and there and walk out of the room and go home. She stayed there with Natter. Who would do that? Who would have a guy lightly slap the back of your head and you're going to sit there with no problem?
Because I don't think she deserves that. I don't think anyone deserves that. So, but everything he did to her in that video, I don't like watching that video because he.
That you showed Sam's Bar Lounge video on your channel. Who would do that? Who would do that?
He did the same to me. The way his face turned, the way he snorted and growled. He started by flicking his cigarette at me. He burnt cigarettes on me.
We never saw the scars, though. Wouldn't there be a scar?
Threw things at me.
You're saying all these things that happened, but you did not stay away from the man when you could have, because every time you saw him, you went over to his house. You had to drive over there because he didn't have a car. Make it make sense, Chantal. Make it make sense. And you like to quote stats about DV victims. It takes 8 out of 10 times to stay away. Do you know why it takes that many? It isn't just emotional ties we're talking about here. A lot of the people that go through DV, they stay with the person that they're with because they have nowhere else to go. You're going to leave that part out? You're going to leave that out. I'll fill in the blanks for you. People who are part of DV relationships, they have nowhere else to go. They have no money to go somewhere else. They don't have a safe space. Or perhaps there are children involved and they don't want to leave the children behind, just not knowing what's going to happen to them. And they're afraid that if they find a safe space, what's going to happen if the person that's hurting them finds them? Like how much angrier they're going to be, what that's going to lead to. That's why it takes 8 to 10 times. But your situation was much different. You had your own place, your own money, your own car. Natter couldn't even drive. You had to drive to where he was. Even when he moved out of Gatineau and went to Montreal, you were making the 2-hour trips to go see him. So would a victim do any of that? No. They would not go out of their way to see a person that has hurt them that way. That's why I call you a fake.
Punched me, smacked me, called me names. And the worst thing is, he blamed it. He would blame it on me for what he did. And I would be like, oh yeah, I must have done something. Oh yeah. Okay, he's not going to say sorry, so I'm just going to suck it up. Like, what kind of self-worth did I have? None.
Chantal's a very light-skinned person. If he punched her, where were the bruises from that? We never saw any bruises. Interestingly enough, on that note, in the beginning when they were good, she would come home with bruises on her chest, but she would brag about those, saying they were from intimate relations. So it's funny how the bruises on her chest went from, oh, this was consensual, to when she was mad at him, suddenly he's doing all these things to me.
All of the signs I ignored, I see them now. The late at night, hiding the phone, talking on the phone with like, oh my God, I don't even know how many. Keeping all of the disgusting videos of other women because he would say that in case he wanted to use them to bribe them in the future. Ignored that. I told him to delete them, but you can't tell him what to do. He's vile. And for people to sit there and think that I would ever want to go back to that, you don't know me and you're disgusting. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Well, in a way, she can't go back to that. With all these things, she puts herself in corners of her own making. By saying all of these things to this new audience, painting this picture of he's an abusive person, blah, 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 she's put herself in a corner that even if she wants to go back, she can't go back. Or if she does, she's got to keep it on the down low. She painted the picture for her subs about who he is and what he's done in an effort to paint herself more the victim. So once you go that far and you paint this picture of I'm a victim of DV and this person is responsible, how do you reverse it? Answer, you can't. So all you're doing, Chantal, is further enforcing this thing where you cannot publicly be with Natter, even though that's the person you want to be with. And here we go. Here's a person sending a super chat saying, when you said you flinched, girl, I felt that. Keep healing. So maybe this person, Vamp, has been through DV. So you're over here talking about DV on your channel, Chantal. You might be triggering other people have been through it and they feel a certain kind of way. They feel sympathetic and they're going to send you money. This is how you made money for the longest on your channel during that whole arc. And it's disgusting. Profiting off of other people's pain and memories. You're horrible.
Vamp Diva, when you said you flinch, girl, I felt that. Keep healing, sending love and hugs. Thanks, Vamp Diva. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that you had to go through that too. And a lot of women have gone through that. That, like, you would think that they would understand what you're going through, but they still shame you, you know.
You know what? I would love to put her on a lie detector test and ask her questions about that time during Natter and get some real answers, a real truth, and expose her for the liar, the fake victim that she is. Really expose her. It's disgusting that she lies about this to people and plays on their sympathy just to get money from them.
No. Yeah, he has a lot of videos of me, and he'll keep them forever. Of course he will. I can only imagine what Dee Dee's living through. You can come online and you can act, put on a face all you want, try to save his reputation. I tried to do that too. You guys know I did. How many times did I try to come on there and say, well, he's really not that bad?
Yeah, you say he's not that bad, then turn around and tell us about the black-eyed rage and, oh, I need a safe word paper clips. You couldn't make up your mind whether you wanted to be a good guy or a bad guy. It all depended on your mood.
He's that bad. And then he's literally evil. Evil.
Well, I guess that means you're two peas in a pod, aren't you? You're both equally evil.
Personified. Yep. You know? She must have loved him to stay. Some of these people have no clue about domestic violence. Yeah, at the time I did have feelings for him. 100% I did. Yes, I did. They don't show their true colors at first. Like, and then even then you kind of just ignore it. Like, look at that Risa Tisa. She's getting a lot of hate too for staying and believing the lies of this man she was with, this Legion guy, because they manipulate you. And it's so common for women and with a narcissist. Narcissists are like master manipulators, you know. And
take note of that. Narcissists are master manipulators. And during the Cuba raid, Chantal told us something very important. She said, oh, you know that I'm going to manipulate the F out of you and then come online tomorrow and you'll eat it up. She said that with her whole chest and she meant it.
And I don't know. Another thing I want to bring up is people like to quote when I said, I think it was in Cuba Rage, I'm going to manipulate you and you're going to eat it up.
Yep.
I was quoting a hater in chat.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And if that was not you, why would you say it? Why would you say something like that? That was a moment where the mask was off. Chantal was riding on her high horse. She was making a lot of money, getting a lot of attention, lots of people in her chat. She was on her high horse and she felt unbreakable and untouchable. She had just gotten her channel back. Ooh, she was cocky and arrogant and feeling herself. And that's why she said that. She felt so secure in manipulating her VIBs that she was going to publicly confess to being a manipulator because she thought, I could confess to being the way that I am. And my VIBs are so stupid that they're going to hear it and they're not going to care. So she said it.
Somebody in chat would always say she's going to manipulate us because, you know, whatever. So I would say that. I was quoting exactly what they said.
No, you didn't.
And so that was that. I wanted to bring that up. I know I said that before.
So somebody in chat said she's going to manipulate us. Then you follow that up with, I'm going to manipulate the F out of you and you're going to eat it up. That's how you handle that?
But I don't know how I would manipulate people. I always...
Oh, girl. You manipulate people by telling these stories and painting yourself a victim, by gaslighting people. by abusing your own members. If they got on your nerves, you would get in your chat, you would publicly humiliate your own members. Humiliate people if they dare to send you a super chat that was too low. Oh, you're so cheap. $1.99? Yeah, you did that many times. Manipulate people through intimidation. Saying, who wants to be blocked? Yeah, you did that too. How do I manipulate people? Through several means, by lies, manipulation, gaslighting, intimidation, abusing people verbally. That's how you did it.
Was genuine about how I'm feeling, whether I was on a diet, not on a diet. I guess if you could count, if you know, at the time I would say, okay, let's start a health journey, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, those were my true intentions at the time. I didn't have an intention of turning and making people like, you know, using their emotions.
Lies. The lies she tells, lies. Oh my God, the amount of lies today. I can't with her. The lie box is full. It's overflowing. It can't hold any more. Ah. You painting yourself a victim, playing on people's emotions and their trauma, their pain. Oh my God, I can't with her today.
In that sense, you know what I mean? Yeah, having your son woke you up. Good, Vamptief. I'm glad you're out of that. It's not easy. And people like to shame me because I didn't have kids. Most people stay for kids or they're financially dependent. No, there's an emotional bond there as well. You know, like it's not only about that. Tracy, what do you mean? Is it okay, this quality? Met my husband now within a year. We lived together and I'm pregnant. Finally found someone. I'm so glad, Croons. Good. I think a lot of people have gone through something where they're, you know, either used or abused or treated poorly in a relationship, you know, and we learn and move on. So if people take it so seriously, there's something wrong with them, not you. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Roach Queen. That like against me, you know, like he would use, I don't want to say, but you know what I mean? Like he was just vile in every way. I don't know. Everything was about him, like big, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, it comes along, Sue-Ann, or Sue-Ann Ulla. And stayed. Many people are guilty of this. Yeah, exactly. You stayed with crappy people. It happens. You know, they're using that to say that I deserved it or something. I don't know what their point is. My narc-ex used to literally watch me scream and
Moving on.
disgusting men because that's how I would get it from them, you know? Yeah. Just leave the past where it belongs. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do, cookies and cream.
You know? Well, you're not exactly leaving it behind. You're talking about it. Miss, I don't live in the past, talking about it endlessly. And notice again, she's talking about Natter. And if you've been through DV or SA or trauma, even after the fact, you're talking about it. There's a part of your brain that you're kind of reliving it again. And if it's really bad and it's really traumatic, you're remembering it, and it's going to cause outward upset, like in your eyes or on your face. You're thinking about it, and it's hurting you again. Nothing going on here. Nothing.
You know? So the YouTube underground.
Like she's a fake, phony victim talking about an experience that she never had. And because she never had it, she doesn't have the memory of it happening. Therefore, no visceral reaction, no outside reaction to follow.
Oh, please. They're disgusting. Imagine wifing up somebody who made fun of your kids. Like, really? next about my abuse story. Like, whatever. Like, get a life. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Teardrop. Just another clout chaser. Exactly. I'm going to prove her subs are fake. Prove it. How? How are you going to prove that? Because my channel grew so fast? It's even an enigma to me. I have
No, it's not. No, it's not. And you're going to get caught. Trust me, you're going to get caught. You can't. You can do something sometimes and get away with it, but you can't get away with everything all of the time. Eventually, you're going to get caught. That's just the way the world works.
I have no idea, but I did message YouTube about it because I was concerned. Because I'm not.
You were afraid of them catching you, and so you're trying to create this air of innocence, like I didn't do it. Trust me, if you did, they'll find out. They can look at everything about your channel, Chantal. They're going to see.
Into buying subscribers. It's not, I don't want to do that. I know it's not right to do it. I know
it's not right to do it, but I'll do it. That's what it takes.
Oh, that it can get your channel taken down. So, grandfather, well, I was drunk when I did Cuba Rage. Did I physically abuse anybody? No.
Verbally, you did. You were being so mean to your VIPs that night. It was off the chain with your dirty, filthy mouth.
But you still sit there and use that for content.
And it bothers you each and every time when people re-air the Cuba Rages. Oh, it makes you mad because that's when you were being you. We rarely get to see the real you, Chantal. You put on a mask. But when the mask comes off, it's glorious to see the real you revealed. And you chose that night to reveal the real you. So, yeah, we're going to pay attention to it.
So, yeah. Hey, Sarah Nasser. I'm a Sarah from Kuwait. Big fan of you. Would love to invite you to lunch someday. Avenues Mall. Sarah, are you the one who does makeup? Sure. I'm trying not to. I haven't called anybody names tonight, except for maybe the abuser, but sorry. I mean...
Wait, what? I just called the abuser name. Sorry. Why is she apologizing to here? What? You're apologizing to your abuser. Why would you do that? Never mind.
Not sorry. Same thing with Cuba Rage. I'm not sorry about anything I said about that person. Nope. Not after what I've been through that weekend before I went there.
Oh, so we're going to... Thank you for bringing that up. That's interesting. That is interesting. What happened in that weekend before she went to Cuba? It was her birthday, and she chose to go. Imagine, this person's supposed to be your abuser, right? And he's with another woman now where you swear you can't stand that person either. She went over to his house for a little three-way situation. Imagine that, having a three-way situation with a person you claimed is highly abusive and his new girlfriend. I can't relate. I can't understand how you could even get turned on by something like that. But that's what she did. She went over there because she was desperate for Natter's attention. And even though she was not an Aditi, she was so desperate to get at Natter that she agreed to this three-way situation. By the way, it happened twice. It was so horrible the first time, but it happened twice. So she went over there for this three-way situation. And she said the only thing that she did not like about it was watching Dee be intimate with Natter. That was it. She tried to insinuate before that he forced her to do stuff. But then she took it back and said, oh, the only thing I didn't like was watching the two of them together. But that's how far she was willing to go to be with Natter, was to say, yeah, I'm down for this, when she really wasn't down. And then she got jealous watching Dee and Natter together. And it happened twice. But imagine having intimate relations with a person that you're accusing did all these horrible things to you. And then when she went to Cuba, she was raging about Natter, but then it was revealed later that she was sending texts back and forth to Natter, her abuser, saying, I'm going to talk about you for views. So they were still in cahoots the entire time.
Sorry, not sorry. Does Mr. Roger Sweater give you automatic morals? Apparently. Reactors and haters insult you all day and then clutch their pearls if you respond. Yeah. Have you seen the disgusting things these people do on Twitter? I've seen a few. And then
And how would you see it unless you're there, liar? I thought you said people send you stuff.
have the nerve to try to take the moral high ground against myself and Amber.
Chantal, you cannot control the narrative every which way on the internet. You can't control the narrative on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, and even Twitch. People are allowed to say what they want. If you don't like it, stop paying attention. You're making yourself mad for no reason.
Berlin and whoever else. I don't get it. I don't. The only thing is, yeah, they want this reaction, you know.
No, you want to get the reaction for extra views. Tell the truth.
La vie! Salut! Everybody. It's not an excuse, but it definitely brings out the worst of you, for sure. And I haven't had any alcohol since those bad times. I don't drink. I never will again. You should tell your...
You know, eventually Chantal has to go back to Canada. It's just going to happen at some point. She can't keep border hopping and going back and forth from wherever back to Kuwait. At some point, she's going to have to leave. It's just going to happen. And if she has to go back to Canada alone or be anywhere alone, people are going to see the real her. She's just hiding it for right now.
Your story, be one to profit off of it instead of reactors. Yeah, Leslie, it's just that at the time, especially when I was going through the abuse, I would come on live and cry and scream and, you know.
Yeah, you do all that and then you go right back to them. So there's that, liar.
Walk it out with drugs and tell you everything that happened. And at the time, you guys believed me because you were telling me to leave. You hated me for staying.
And you didn't want to listen. And you're like, you would come online and say, you guys don't know him the way that I do. Well, we knew enough. We saw what we saw. We heard. Yet you kept going back over there. Even when he moved, you wouldn't leave him alone.
You know? And now it's like, because it can be weaponized against me. Morocco greeting. Hello, marhaba. Kifik. I'm sorry, but I'm sick of seeing all your past videos over and over again. I know, that's the thing. Like, it's so past. It's so, I know people think I'm just, it's like they think I'm still that person. I'm still.
You are that person. You are that person. Nothing has changed here except for your location. That's it. Same foodie, just different country.
Foodie, and I'm going to go back to that.
You are.
And it's not going to happen. I can assure you.
So she swears she's not going to go back to that life. Here's a serious question on the chalkboard. If a person has a lot of issues, mental issues, physical issues, they have an addictive personality, they have addictions to food, to attention, there might be some psychological issues that have not been properly addressed and treated. If nothing has changed, if there's no improvement anywhere, there's no coping skills, coping mechanisms, and a person has a rotten, vile personality, they're narcissistic, but there's been nothing done to improve any of that, then how can change happen? I mean, she moved to another country to get away from her issues, but because the issues are inside of her, they followed her and they've been with her ever since. So how can change come about if those things don't change? Someone who's an addict to food stays an addict to food until they get the treatment that they need. and the coping mechanisms and the coping skills to get on the other side of it. If you are addicted to attention and you've not gone through therapy and you're not talking to anybody, you are still addicted to attention. If you've got mental or emotional issues with no treatment, you still have those doggone issues. So nothing has changed here. Nothing's going to change until she changes.
You, I'm really liking the person I'm on the road to be. I still have to deal with a lot of issues, you know, like, of course I do, but still that doesn't like again, having an eating disorder, eating a tray of meatballs doesn't make me a bad person. Okay. Like,
Yeah, it just makes you more unhealthy and you don't care about your sense of health. Even though your body is screaming for help and it's saying, we need help, Chantal. We can't keep up with this. You can't keep up with this. Do something. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen.
having a disease is not reflective on who you are as a
Ma'am, an eating problem is not a disease. It's a disorder. Okay, there's a difference here.
person.
And even if, say, it were a disease, when you have a disease, you treat the disease. You do what you can to get on the healthy side of it as much as you can. You're not doing that. You don't care.
And it's clear that these people they really just see somebody as just stuffing their face. They don't really
Well, that's what you show us.
care about what you're going through psychologically.
What are you going through? See, this is the part that I'm going to get mad about and I'm going to go off about. What the hell are you going through? Ma'am, what do you do in your day? You sit at the house and do nothing. You go nowhere. You don't have much in the way of responsibilities. What? You wash your dishes and maybe you feed your cat, maybe change the litter box, and then you spend the rest of your time scrolling on your phone. You make it sound like you got an entire busy day full of things to do. If you saw what a lot of other people have to go through in their day, like taking care of their kids, taking care of their house, going to work, clocking in, clocking out, battling traffic, coming home and having to take care of things, and maybe having 15 minutes or an hour before bedtime before they got to get up and do it all over again, your head would explode. You've got going through what? If you're going through mental stuff or emotional stuff, you can seek online therapy. You can get online therapy sessions. The help is out there. The resources are out there. You're just not interested. You're interested in monetizing your issues and your pain and your memories. And not only that, other people's too. You take other people's stories and make it into your story. Because you got nothing going on in your present life that you can talk about. So miss me with all of this. I've got so much going on. You've got nothing going on. And that's part of the problem. You could have a whole lot of things going on. Ain't nothing going on right now. You're bored with nothing to talk about except your past.
Or, whatever. I don't know. Sorry, somebody messaged me. Drunk words are sober thoughts. Yeah, and at the time I was on a Cuba rage, I had a lot of hate in my heart. I was black inside. You go through a year of being manipulated and abused and cheated on and everything.
Listen, let's get this story straight. Let's get it real straight right now. Did Nader manipulate her? Of course he did. But it went both ways. That's the whole picture. She manipulated him too. With her money, with her predatory behavior, with using her own channel and her audience as a means to punish him when he wasn't doing what she wanted. So everything she's talking about with him, it went back and forth. And they're both adults, and either one of them could have cut things off, but they didn't. They chose to keep it going. So, hey, whatever happened between them happened, they kept it going. But he wasn't the only one doing the manipulating and the lying. It was her too. Yes, it was.
Everything else, and you see how when you drink, how that comes out. I'm just saying. For your next iced mocha, yes. The ones you worship without even questioning. Thanks, Croons. Her and her chat all morning. She has nothing else. Pathetic. That's a disgusting person, because I've heard them say before, they're so ignorant and uncultured, and they have the most to say about everything. Did you hear? I heard like a clip of what's her face, Miss like sleeping with a sex offender, say that I'm talking a lot about airplanes lately. Okay, airplane crashes, and really just went off about the keffiyeh, how it's like I would never have the guts to wear that in Canada. Are you kidding? I'll wear that proud anywhere in the world. I'm not afraid. And that those comments, people don't realize how Islamophobic that is. You're just assuming because I like to watch Mayday videos that I'm going to be an unaliving bomber or something. Like, oh my God. Ugh. Ignorance is hard to navigate. I can't deal with it. Hump day, camel. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what else to say. I think that whole thing is just ridiculous. That's my 2 cents, my 2 dinars.
Okay, you know what? I think that's enough. This react is already at 3 hours. But there was a lot to catch up on before her live stream. So we'll just cut it off here. You guys get the gist of what's going on here. She's mad because Mr. Snowflake did the first episode of the docuseries. Not happy about that. Not happy about it being exposed, about her doing sub for sub, her being nervous about that. So she's using that moment of the docuseries to try to get extra subs and extra views and extra attention. So that's it for this react. I'm going to go ahead and let it process and then post it and try to catch up on all the other Chantal stuff. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you like this, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and have a good one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.